Oh, I guess we were muted. Sorry about that, everybody. Should we start over?
Probably.
Okay, so I'll let you start from the beginning. So here's our box.
Do you want to do the introduction again?
Okay.
All right. Hey Krazy Crafters! Thank you so much for joining us today for the Krazy Krafter Box Winter Gifts Edition. We were muted there for a little bit, sorry about that. And we are going to be doing 7 projects together over the course of the next 4 hours. I hope you're excited and ready to craft with the Krazy Creations crew. Before we get started, let's go over some of the supplies you need to get started. So you need your box. Hopefully nobody peeked in it yet. You're also going to need scissors, adhesive, tweezers, alcohol markers, a paper trimmer. You might need a scoring board, but if you don't have that, we can work around that. There's other ways to score your papers. And maybe you need a cup of coffee, who knows. So let's see, we're going to be making, like I said, 7 winter-themed projects. Now these are going to be great for giving gifts to your friends and family members. And we're going to learn some new techniques along the way. So if you're excited, let us know in that comment section down below. And we'll go through the box together and see what's inside. Okay, so here's our Krazy Krafter Box. Take it away.
So we have our instructions. I feel like I just did this. We have our instructions. Here they are. We have our wonderful commemorative button. We have our stickers right here. We have our glitter paper, which I was explaining is on this warm white today. That's why it has this beautiful beige background. And it is the cool because you can see the glimmers are the green and blue. And then we have all of our individual kits here. So to get started, which is where I was till Jackie told me I was muted, we're going to do this one first, following the order of the instructions. So you are going to want to look for this kit right here. And let's pull, we will need our glitter paper and our stickers.
Now the great thing about the crafter boxes is everything for each project is in a separate bag, except for the stickers and the glitter paper. So you'll always need your stickers for each project and the glitter paper, but everything else is in one bag together. So I think that's really nice.
So we're going to use our presents, and we're going to use these dots right here. These dots are fabulous. There are 4 different sizes of dots and 2 rows right here. So we need our dots, our presents, our kit, and eventually our glitter paper. Okay, that's all we need right now to get started. So if you have a paper trimmer, now is a good time to grab that. I'm going to get my larger paper trimmer, and we are going to start with making the card. So do you want to talk about this card? It's a slim line.
So slim lines are 8.5 by 3.5, and they fit in the number 10 envelope. We're starting out with something a little more basic. We like to work our way into the more intricate cards, and we like to start off by doing the guts of the card. So that means all of the papers, and then the last thing we'll do is the presents, so the stickers and coloring.
Okay, so it will be helpful if you have pop-up dots. You know, that's what these are. We didn't really talk about the basics that you're going to need. So you're going to need a paper trimmer, a score pal or a scoreboard will be really helpful today because we're going to do a lot of scoring. You're going to need your alcohol ink markers, scissors, adhesive.
Yeah, I said that in the beginning, but that's okay, because just in case I forgot something, then they can grab that real quick.
All right. So in here is the slimline card. Now this is a pre-scored card, meaning that it's already been cut for us. So all we have to do is fold it along the score line. Now what we usually do is we don't always put it on the card. In this case we did, but usually we make the guts, which will be the black base part, and then the last step is to adhere it to your card. So that's how it becomes a card. So you can probably put this aside right now along with your envelope because we do not need to mail it to anybody yet, which will leave us with all the pieces of paper that we need. Okay, so the first step of this card, following the instructions, we tried to put all of the cut angles into the green so that helps you identify. I'm actually going to get my other cutter, which I prefer. I really love this cutter. It's smaller, it's easier for me. I'm going to put the papers on the side, and I think we're ready to get started.
We are. By the way, did you know today is called Small Business Saturday? So we want to thank you all for buying the Krazy Krafter Box and watching and supporting us this Small Business Saturday. Thank you.
Yes, and for those of you, when I was muted, you obviously didn't hear, but for Small Business Saturday on the Krazy Creation special today, we have our special Krazy Krafter Box, the all occasion.
Yes, so you'll want to go over and check that out on our website. And if you order today, you get 3 gifts, because last year we also did 3 gifts. So after today, the one of the gifts goes away. And then you have a week to get the 2 gifts.
Yeah, so the gifts are great. There's our wonderful tweezers, and then a brand new, it looks like a pen, but it's actually a weeding tool, which will help you pick out those little pieces of your sticker. It is awesome, and it's glittered. So.
And I brought it with us over to the table. And then the third gift is a sand eraser, which is an essential tool for erasing mistakes on your cardstock.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I didn't know about the third gift, but that is good because I've been using it a lot lately, that sanding tool.
So go over to our website, click on Featured, and then Krazy Krafter Box, and order today. It's $69.99 with $5 shipping, and you get those 3 gifts, but today only. Let us know if you've already ordered in the comment section below.
Okay, so back to making the card. We're going to start with our black cardstock, and this card here is 3.5 by 8.5 high. So we want to make sure that this is 3.5, which I think we might have cut it exactly for you, and 8.5. So it is. So we have no cutting to do on the black, which is kind of nice. All right. So this one is going to be 3.25 by 8.25. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that 3.25. There we go. I'm sorry, I hurt my thumb over the holiday and it's hard to cut. Okay, and I'm going to guess that this is 8.5. It is, so we want to take off 1/4.
Okay, I'm going to give you all a heads up, by the way. I am getting over a cold, so if I have to cough, I'm going to mute the video temporarily and then I'll unmute it so you don't have to hear me coughing.
Okay, so now the papers that we're using for this very colorful part are these, what we call mini dot cardstock. They're already have impressions in them, which I think is really cool. One side is the impression, the other side is flat. So you kind of want to see which side is going to be the top of it. And for each of these we have the same cut. So the first cut is going to be 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So let's go ahead and do, now we want to take into account that we're going to need a strip. So I'm going to, oops, sorry guys, I'm going to do the 1 3/4 first, and I'm going to go this way so that I have more than enough length for the strip.
I'd like to know how many of you have started your holiday crafts so far, or is this the first of your holiday card making? Let us know in the comment section.
So that was 2 1/4. So there we go. So that will be like this piece right here, and let's do that with all of our colors now. So I'm going to go to the pink. 1 3/4.
1 3/4 by 2 1/4.
Okay. And one more time. This is why we start with a somewhat easier card. There we go. Okay, so now we have to do our strips. So we have the 3 squares or rectangles right there. And now we need to do our strip, which is going to be 1
3 1/4 by 3/4.
Okay.
You want to
What
remeasure
was,
that?
what was it?
3 1/4 by 3/4.
Okay, so let's do the 3/4 first. And on this particular cutter, I have measurements on both sides of where it cuts. So I'm going to 3/4 on this side right here. And you said 3 1/4?
Yes.
Which happens to be the width of the card. So you see right there? There we go. So that's why it was good to leave that strip so that we had enough of that 3 1/4. So I'm going to do 3/4 and 3 1/4. Go.
So according to our comments on Facebook, Cindy and Janet have done all of their holiday cards already. So they're ahead of the game, but these could be for next year.
Or a last minute person that you didn't take into account. Okay, there we go. So I think that's everything with the dot paper. Now we need the white paper. So, what are those measurements?
They're going to be 1 1/4 by 1 3/4
Okay.
for this part right here.
So I'm going to do the 1 3/4 first. Okay, and 1 1/4.
Yes. Need that 3 times.
Telling you it's hard with this thumb. 2 and 3. So I did the 1 3/4 first, and then I got all 3 of these white papers out of that strip. And then what's the next one?
Next we need the white for the sentiments, and so that is going to be 1 1/4 by 1/2 inch.
Okay, so let's do the 1/2 inch and 1 1/4. Wow. Okay, there's 2, and I need 1 more. And there we go. We got all 3 of these.
Okay, so that's all the cutting for this card.
And look at all the extra. You have a lot of extra papers here, so that's something that maybe you can make little tags or do something fun with.
Okay, so now the next step is we are going to adhere our papers onto the card to create the design with all the papers.
All right.
Card front.
So I turn this over, the ball paper, and we're using our Tombow tape roller, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of map this into the center of the black, just like that. Then let's go ahead and put our white on each of the center of these squares right here. Okay, whoops. And we'll put this right in the center. I like being able to see all that dot paper. Go with that.
So where do you get this dot paper?
Yes, we get it from our manufacturer. And so we actually have ordered quite a bit of it. So I don't think I'm not sure if we'll put it up or not. But definitely if you're in the club, you're going to be getting it. So join our club, our card making club.
In fact, I did see a comment from Janet saying that she does a YouTube video about our card club. So if you want to know what this month's is all about, you can watch her video. We also have the examples on our website for you to look at. We have 3 different levels of the card making club: light, classic, and all in. And let's see if you can guess which one is the most popular.
So I'm going ahead And I'm putting the little white strips, which are going to have the sentiment, on the very edge of each of these colored strips. Just like that. And now I think we're getting really ready to set this card up. So I think the most challenging part is, well, first of all, this one wasn't very straight. Making sure your paper's straight would be good. Okay, is kind of laying it out because you want it to be somewhat even. So I found that by laying this out first to kind of see where I wanted it helped me a lot. So kind of going, that way I can move it before I actually put it down. Just kind of seeing how this is going to go.
Well, we have one guess that all in is the most popular. Is that the most popular?
No.
It is not.
Okay, so that's looking pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting these down. But you know, you just want to kind of play with it until you get it the way that you want it. And then adhere. Now this is one of the reasons that I use the Tombow tape. I know a lot of people are really into that precision tool now, the glue tool. I actually have one, but I haven't used it yet. So if you like that tool, let me know. I haven't had time to use it yet, but it looks awesome. I know it was highly popular at the expo. Okay, we'll put this down.
Okay, Janet got it.
Do you like it, Janet?
Classic is the most popular.
Oh, I thought she got the precision tool. She probably has that too, don't you, Janet? Okay. I like the all-in because if you like fancy fold cards, it's the way to go. Okay. And there we go. I think this one is just not quite straight, but look at that, we did it all. So now what we're going to do is come over here to our dots, and we're going to put those 3 little dots on here. Now one way that I like to do it is to weed, which means I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. Now Jackie was pointing out we also have this wonderful weeding tool, which is what you will get if you order that box today. And what it is on the edge here is a nice little, it's hard to see, it's a sharp little tiny kind of pokey tool, which it's not a pen, so it's a poker. So actually, if you want, you could probably poke just like that and get these little dots, which I think is helpful. So it's like having the end of the tweezers, but you don't have to worry about the end of the tweezers. But look how easy this pokey tool. So this one, we have different color glitters. This one is silver, but they're all different colors. They're all pretty, and they all have this copper top.
It's like a rose gold.
Okay, so we'll put this over here. Right here. And if I had that sand eraser, I got some sort of smudge on my paper here. I would take it off with the sand eraser. That. And there's that. That. There we go. Okay, so now our card base is all set up, and all that we have to do now is to get our glitter images color. Oh, thank you, the sentiment. Well, hello. So that sentiment is not on this sticker, so I was wrong. Is it on that sticker? No.
We're looking for warm winter wishes.
Yes, so we gave everybody winter sayings right here. So this winter words, the warm winter wishes, is on the sheet. Okay, and I'm going to use my tweezers for this. I'm going to come in and put the wishes. You can pick any of the words on here, and yes, you can weed this as well. I like using my tweezers because I get a little bit better control of the word. But there's wishes, and I think we're looking for winter, which I think is this one right here. And if you want to put snowflakes somewhere on here, you can. I think that winter, is there a smaller winter? Yes, this one was too big. I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to go to this winter right here. There we go. That looks much better. Let me just get that down. There you go. And then the word warm. Where is warm? Here it is. There. Now I think we're ready to do the glitter part. Okay, warm winter wishes. There we go. So we have our presents, and I'm going to put our card to the side for a minute. And we're going to go ahead and take this glitter paper out of our protective sleeve. And
This is our first time using the glitter paper, so you need to burnish it with your fingers, and that just means rub with your fingertips. That's going to add luster to the glitter. It's going to make it smoother and get some of the extra glitter off of the surface. Once you rub it that first time, you should see that you can rub it again and the glitter does not transfer.
so we want a couple of these different presents. We want this one with the leaves, which is the upper one right here.
So by the way, this is our handmade glitter paper. You can't get this glitter paper anywhere else. We make it by hand. And it is the only glitter paper safe for coloring. And it works excellent with these vinyl outline stickers.
Okay, and then the last one is this one right here. If you hear our dog, that's our dog wanting to go outside. Okay, so now that we have those down, you do need to burnish them again onto the glitter paper, or you can use our fun new brayer tool, which I think is really helpful because what it does, it makes sure that the sticker is nice and tight on that glitter paper. Okay, so now that we've done that, if you see any little pieces that are in there, you could use your poker tool or your tweezers to just kind of poke them out. That's why I think this weeding poking tool is the bomb. There that is. And I don't think I got everything else that needed to get out of there, so yay.
What about that burnishing tool? Do you have that?
No, I don't. Okay.
We have a specialized tool just for burnishing your stickers, but we didn't bring it today.
Nope. So to color, you're going to want to look for colors that, match your paper. So we're using our Olos, and by the way, I don't know if you missed your chance. This was the prototype, so the real ones we've perfected don't have this on it. But this is our carousel for the Olos. And look, you could see each side. I don't want to tip it over, but it has an X in there, and it
can change the angle of the camera.
Okay. Let's see if we can. Okay, whoops, there with that. But as you can see, it holds, it's like an X. So right now we have all the Crazy Creation favorites in here, but it actually holds 160 colors, so 80 markers. And it's perfect for just twirling around and looking at both sides of what color you need. So we're going to use this one today, which is BG 2.4 and 2.7. We're going to get our pink, which I think I'm going to go with this RV 0.4 and RV 0.2. Now I know some of you have asked me, why can't you write it down? Because we were in the middle of transitioning. But I now have a new Olo swatch book that you should check out. You can put all the colors there and then know. So do we have that swatch book, or can you grab it so we could show what that is? And then also the YG. So we want YG 2.1 and YG 2.5. So these are the colors that we're going to use today. Now if you're not sure, I just want to show you how fabulous this brand new swatch book is to help you figure out your colors. So it's in a snap book. It's called the Olo Marker Swatch Book by Krazy Creations, and each of the colors that are our favorites has a place for what it looks like on cardstock, what it looks like on warm highlight paper, and cool highlight. Now these are the glitter papers. They have very different tones depending what the sparkles are. You could really see it here. This is one that has something very different. And so you can go through then and see each color. And there's lots of room to grow or to have colors outside of our favorites. But it's really fun to know which one you want to use. So today we're going to use the 2.1 and the 2.5 for this present. So you could kind of see how that works. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so if you haven't gotten this swatch book, it is a kit. It's on our website. Okay, so now that we got all our colors, it's time to color. So let's start with this one. So one other marker that we kind of need is the colorless blender, because you notice how light this is in here. That's using the colorless blender to kind of give that light tone. So we're going to come in here with our BG 2.4 right here.
Now I think we should say the general technique for coloring with alcohol markers on here. If you're using another brand, that is perfectly fine. Just remember you want a dark and a light color for each section that you're coloring. In this case, the dark is the teal and the light is the colorless blender. And that's how you achieve that gradient effect.
Yes. And here we are.
Dark to light.
Okay, so there's that. Yes, you are going to pick up the color on your colorless blender. All you have to do is get a piece of copy paper, tap, 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 and it comes right back off. Now mine needs a replacement ink, so I'm going to go to the other side and maybe just do it a little bit more. But that's how I got that light color. Also, your colors will change as they dry. So if you didn't want this as dark as I just did it, you would have put a lot less of this light color. Now we're going to go up here. We're going to do this dark color. And just a little bit of this right there. And we're going to go in with our the lighter color where we're shading. And then we could do our little ribbon. And I think on the inside there, you can come in, pick up a little of your color from here on your blender and just put that inside there. There we go. We have one present down. Boom. Okay, on to the next one with our pinks. Now in this case, we're going to use this RV 0.4 and the RV 0.2. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start with the 2, put the light kind of going down.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you real quickly. I did see that one of our recipients did not receive the printed instructions. So send us a message or an email and we'll send those to you electronically. So we'll email you the instructions so you have all those cutting dimensions. Sorry about that. Sometimes things slip through the cracks.
Looks like I am using a different pink, so I should have used my swatch book. So we'll still go with this pink, but I did use the brighter pinks, which I believe are the 1 point somethings. But that's okay. Sometimes we gotta mix it up. And in here, I'm just putting this. Now, this did bleed outside a little bit, and that is because I didn't use my brayer very good on that little part. I'm gonna go in and put a little bit more dark. There we go. I like that better. And then if I want to, the other side of this is an RV 0.6. And I could have a really dark ribbon. So really, when it comes to coloring, it's what you like. Okay, there we go. Now we're on our very last one. Now, if ever you don't know how to match your cap up, it is on the pen itself, so you don't have to worry. It's on this barcode and you can match up. Now we have our green, which this is the darker of the green, so I'm going to do that part first. Now it doesn't matter if this bled out a little bit because we are going to cut, and I'm letting this one bleed a little bit into the present, so I'm going to come in with that lighter color in just a moment. So I'm doing that on purpose. And then I'm going to come in with this one, which is the YG 2.1, and just kind of blend that down. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, now if you wanted to have a little bit more shading around there, you could come in with that little bit darker one, just kind of go along the seams here maybe. It's really up to you, but maybe I want a little bit of that, and then I'll come back, just add this in there, and we have our presents. So what's left to do there, Jackie?
All that's left is to take some scissors and fussy cut around the presents and then adhere them with pop dots to the card. And look how bright and kind of cheerful this card is with those colors that we used. So you're going to use any scissors that you like. These are our preferred ones. We might have another preferred one coming out soon, but you're just going to follow the line. You can even take a marker and go around the edge of the cutout image to make it nice and seamless, and then use some pop dot dimensionals to put them down so you can see that dimension in there.
So just to explain about the scissors, Tim Holtz does not make these fussy cut scissors anymore. This is the old style. They now are titanium, and they come in a container, a metal container, which we're just looking for something more like these. So we think we found something, so keep your fingers crossed.
And your eyes peeled.
Yes. Okay, that is the first card done. And how fun and easy was that?
And what a cute card.
Yes, so the next
Don't
one,
forget to adhere this onto your card base, by the way.
right. So the next card that we're going to do, we're going to keep going, is this beautiful poinsettia card. And as you could tell, the sentiment is also found on that same sticker that we just used with all the winter sayings. And we're also going to want our dots, so we want those. We're going to look for the kit that has the holly paper, and then we're going to look for 2 more stickers. So let's go ahead and do that.
Now this card is definitely more of the traditional holiday colors because poinsettias are usually that red color, but I have seen them more of a pink before. You can actually make them any color you like. So keep that in mind. You don't have to follow our red coloring if you don't want to. And then we have, it looks like some fun papers creating a pattern that we make ourselves over on the side.
Okay, so this is what we are working with. We have our poinsettia, which is 3060 right here, and then we have a yay 4162, which are these holly branches. We're also going to use our sentiment here from the winter words, and we are going to use our dots, but what else are we going to use? Our border. So yay, let's get that border sticker out right here. Okay, so these are the stickers that we're going to use to create this beautiful card. But like always, we like to start with the actual card base.
Okay, so we're going to be trimming some more papers. We're taking them out of the packaging.
Okay, so here's our card papers. So inside we do have an envelope, which we don't need. We'll put that to the side. We also have our card. Now the card is actually going to be what the panel here is going to go on. So eventually this will be on top of that. So we don't need this right now, so we'll put that aside. And then all that we're left with is this white card base. We have the holly, but the holly and the green are on the same paper, and then we have the dot. Okay, so as Jackie said, we are going to go ahead and make a pattern. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our panel, which is already cut for us. It is 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 high, and we're going to line up these corners. Okay, so I'm lining up this corner and this corner, the upper left, lower right. Okay, and then I'm going to cut, again, having trouble with my thumb, sorry, there we go. So I'm going to make it so we have a diagonal, which will be this piece right here, okay? Then what we're going to do is we are going to cut this one in half. So to get this part, we're basically going to go from this corner up. So how much? It depends what you want. So I'm actually lining my corner basically over here at about 2 3/4. And we're going to cut that. And then this becomes that. Okay? I don't know what's going on with my hands, but I seem to have something. We need that eraser tool here. But I guess
get one. Maybe then we can see how to use it.
Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and put this panel right on here so that we could start putting our papers. But actually, take that back. Let's not. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember how I did things, you know, so stay with me, stay tuned. I think what we're going to do is kind of put this one together with our border. Border sticker, where'd you go? Here it is.
Okay, so this is the sand eraser, and this is great if you get little smudges on your cardstock. I seem to always get smudges because I have ink transfer from my hands or something. and it has sand in it. So basically it's like you're sanding your paper and it removes that top layer and makes it nice and clean.
So guys, I think what should have happened is I should have given you all another piece of white paper. So I apologize. But so we could do one of two things. I think it would be easier for us. I think you all can make a card base to cut this piece of white because it will help us a lot if we do that. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And again, you're going to eventually have to put this on a card base. And I'm sorry, I made a boo-boo. Par for the course. That's who I am. I'm an artist, and artists are never perfecto. Okay, so if we do that, the reason I want to do that is so we could put our triangles on the base like this. It'll be so much easier for us to put the paper strips, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. We try to do our best, but I know everybody must have white paper. To make a card base, it's 8 1/2 by 11, cut it in half to 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then fold it. That's how you do. You get 2 card bases out of each 8 1/2 by 11. So make sure you do the glue on the right, the adhesive on the right side of your triangle. But now look at us. This will be so much easier to put our little paper strips. And if you didn't cut yours exactly right, like I'm putting mine in the wrong way. There, that's the problem. There we go. You could cut off any extra. There we go. Okay. So there's that. So we're not going to do our border strip yet, but now what we need to do is make little strips. So do you know the lists that I have there?
Trim the red dot pattern paper 1/4 inch by 5 1/2 and 1/2 inch by 5 1/2.
So what I did was I made some 1/4 inch strips, some 1/2 inch strips, and frankly, if we want a 3/4 inch strip, we could do that. There's lots of paper to do that, okay? So there's some strips. This one, we could do the same. But what's nice about this one is the other side is the other pattern that we want. So I think it's fun, especially if you have strips or pieces of paper that you maybe don't feel you have enough to make a full card. You could kind of just make strips and look at this fun design. Okay. So I think we should have more than enough strips here. So let's see how that goes. We have more paper if we need it. Okay, so if you like to follow my example, you can, or you could do your own thing. But basically, what we're going to do is we are going to adhere these strips onto the panels. So that's going to maybe be our first one. Maybe we want this to be our second. It's hard when it's white to see what's going on. And maybe your angle is a little different. So see, mine is kind of going like this. So I may want to put another strip there in a minute, but I'm just going to kind of start. See, how do I want this? Maybe I'll tuck that one under.
Why aren't you using the other triangle you had left over?
Huh? Why would I?
Where's this? That way you can cut it and then put it on there.
Oh, Jackie has a whole different way for you. You want to try it that way? I didn't do it that way. But do you want to do it that way? So I'm just telling you that this is how I did it, but I'll show you what Jackie is saying. Where is that triangle? Here it is. She's saying that if you line this up like this, and you put the strips here. Maybe that would be a good way. So you learn things. Then you could just put the triangle in there. Shall we do that, everybody? That's what I like, is I like new ideas. Let's do that. I did it the way I was showing you, but maybe this is a fun way. Let's try it. So if we kind of put these on and keep going, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start adhering. I'm going to put my tape on the triangle. That's so much easier. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Just want to make sure you have the right orientation of your triangle.
That is so much better. Okay. So we are going to cut off the edges. Put this one here. You want to cover the entire triangle. Okay, and then let's maybe put this one here. And maybe we'll do this. And then we'll end that teeny tiny little part with this. Okay, well, we'll turn it over, and then you're going to get your paper trimmer or your scissors. Let's try our scissors. And just kind of follow the triangle. Okay. Whoops. Need a little bit more tape on this one. And then we just need a little tiny piece of this red. We'll do that last because it's such a small little piece. Okay, so we got this. Get this out of the way. And then we have this teeny tiny little piece right here. Okay, and there's our triangle. And then this should fit, and it didn't. But you know what? We could overlap it.
I said make sure you have the right orientation.
I do.
No, you don't.
It doesn't matter. We're fine. We're going to go like this. So now what? If you did the wrong way like I did, what do they do?
You're going to wing it.
Yeah. It's really not going to matter because we're going to put things. So now what do we do?
Okay. Your border stickers are next.
Okay. What should we do to fix it?
Well, you could redo it on the back side.
Oh, you guys, this is what my Thanksgiving has been like. I really injured my thumb, and it's, I think, affecting me. What should we do? Anybody out there have ideas for me? Come on, guys, help me out. How about I go like this?
Here, I'll just redo it on the side here while you do something else, like
Okay.
the sentiment.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So, make sure your piece fits, otherwise we're going to be doing the same thing we're doing. That's okay. What do they say? There's no mistakes in crafting. So, I want to make sure that mine goes like this. We have all these leftover pieces. Hopefully I have enough here. My pattern might be a little bit different. Well, this first piece is kind of the most difficult one. Well, if you already got your pieces down, you get a little breather. There's that one. We need the red dot paper. Perfect. See, sometimes your scraps come in handy. This would be a great technique to use with a bunch of scrap paper that you've been saving and didn't know how to use.
How's it going, Jackie?
Alright, so now we're just going to flip this over and trim it again. Oh, we need a little more adhesive. Made it work. Luckily we had enough pieces to do it again. Okay. Now it fits.
All right, that's perfect. Jackie to the rescue. I'll try not to be like that at all, but I am telling you guys, I just took some ibuprofen. My thumb is just killing me, and I really apologize. My head wasn't in the game 100%. Okay, so there we are. That does fit perfectly. That looks so nice. And now we are going to go to our border, right?
Yeah, so along the seam, it looks like this diagonal from left top to bottom right, we're going to use one of our silver borders.
Yes, and we're using the diamond. So if you look in between the little chain here, there's a diamond. So I pulled the diamond, and we're going to just put this right down here. Just like that. Okay. Now if you need to shore up any of your paper, like I'm off just a little bit here, I might trim the bottom to make it straight. You should do that. But this border is so perfect on the seam, seam of papers. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I have just a little bit of unevenness. I'm just going to firm that up like I was saying by just coming in here, and I'm just going to trim the bottom just like that. Put my border back, and there we go. It's perfect. Okay.
Next is our sentiment. So we need winter wishes.
Okay, so winter is, I had this one that I kind of put back down, which is the larger one. So it's the larger winter. Okay, and you know, these cards are perfect for people to put a gift card in or something like that. Maybe you have a coupon, maybe a Krazy Creation coupon.
You mean a gift certificate?
Yep. Okay, winter. Sheesh. Telling you, I need to get, my eyes are, that looks not straight there. Maybe a little better. And then wishes. Here we go. There we go. Winter wishes. Okay. Now we have these, which are our holly leaves right here, and we're going to use 2 of them. Okay, so when you open this up, there are 4 of them on here, and we are going to use 2. So we're just going to peel it. Now, you do notice that they are colored, but they were colored directly on the cardstock. So that's why we're not putting this on our card yet in case it bleeds through, but we do have 2 layers, remember that. So this is where you want to just kind of position them how you want it. Thank you. Mike has made me some tea, which I thought was really nice. Okay, and then we're going to put the other one from the bottom up. Okay. So as you can see, I kind of have that one toward the bottom. This one did go over onto the pattern paper a little bit. And just kind of like that. Now if you need to cut the tail, you can. That's what I like about our stickers. You can cut them. And there's that. Okay? So just kind of squish them down. Make sure they're on. Now, if you're going to color on here, you do, in fact, need to make sure that these are down very tight. So you don't want a lot of bleeding onto your paper. Now, on the paper, they do tend to adhere a little bit more tight than they do on the glitter because the paper is a different medium. There we go. Now let's get some colors. What do you say?
All right.
So I think we're gonna go with the darker green. I would get my swatch book out, but I'm just know that we want this darker green, and that is either G 1.8 or G 1.7, and I'm also gonna go with this G 0.4. So you're literally going to color on the paper. And if you only want one color, that's okay. With the yellow markers, you need to keep the caps off as you're coloring. Otherwise, if you keep working the mechanism of the ink, you may cause it to bleed, and you don't want that. Okay. It is harder to blend on the cardstock. That's why we love our glitter paper, but I'm just going to add this color down, and I am going to go back over it with my darker color. And then just fill that in. And that's basically coloring this. So I'm going to let you guys color the rest of your leaves. You could do that as homework, but that's basically how you color your leaves. So you have a leaf here and you got 3 down here. Now on the pattern paper, I simply just went over it with my dark color. So that's that. Now, how did I get these berries? I used R color, which is R, I believe, 5.5 or 5.7. So 5.5 is this pretty kind of maroon red. And I just really like that. That's 5.5. Whoops. There I am in the camera, 5.5. If you want to go a little darker, 5.7 has more of a brown tone.
Now there's a question on here for you, Kara. We all want to know what happened to your thumb.
Yes. I was going to make our family favorite au gratin potatoes, and I had, because as you all know, I have all kind of new stuff in my kitchen because of my house was lost 2.5 years ago. And I had a brand new mandolin, which are those things that you take a potato and you slice. And I was just kind of looking it over, and my thumb slipped. And unfortunately, I made a huge slice in my thumb, really huge. So it hurts, but it is on the healing finally. But it really
Cooking injury.
hurt. It was a cooking injury, correct. Needless to say, the show went on. I got the potatoes made. Okay. But it was hard. I had to put a glove on. Okay, I felt like I was on a cooking show where they injure themselves and they put a glove on. That's what I did. So now that we got all that, let's put our little dots. So again, look how pretty it is when you use different sized dots, and those dots just kind of make it stand out. So let's put these dots on, but for here you may want to wait until you put your poinsettia on just to make sure. It looks like it's kind of up here, so it should be all right. So we could give it a shot, but if you want to make sure it's not going to interrupt anything, you can wait. And here are my dots. So on the dot front we have tiny, small, medium, large. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. I'm going to get a large. I'm going to put that right here, and I'm going to put 2 mediums, maybe this size. Small. Too small? Yeah, too small. Okay, and then up here I'm going to go back to the medium, and I'm going to put 2 tinies. So again, if you want to wait until your poinsettia, you can, or you could just do it like I am and just put your poinsettia the way it has to be. But that's how easy it is to use these dots. I absolutely love them. I think they are so decorative. And there's this card, so all we have left is the poinsettia, and I'm going to let Jackie...
Did you color all your leaves?
No, we said that's homework.
Oh.
Maybe you didn't hear me. There we go. So I'm going to let you do the poinsettia, and there you go.
Are you going to pick out the reds?
Would you like me to?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm opening my sticker off to the side here. Here we go.
Okay, so for the reds, if you have Olos, we're going to go R0.6, R1.5. So 0.6 is actually darker than 1.5, just so you know. And then we're going to go with R 0.3. Okay, there you go.
These two?
There's 3 colors, 6, 1.5, 3.
Okay. Alright, I'm scooting over. So I'm peeling my sticker, and I'm going to place it on the glitter paper so that it's kind of close to those presents. We want to optimize the use of our glitter paper. Remember, we're going to be cutting all of these images out later. So burnishing, remember we already burnished that glitter paper the last time, so now we're just burnishing our sticker down. You can use your little brayer tool. And guess what I brought for us? Our burnishing tool. So this is what that looks like. It has a flat side where you can really just press. And now it's ready for coloring. So it doesn't look like we're using any of these leaves, so that's going to be great for another project. You're going to have 2 poinsettias and lots of leaves to do some more cards. So the 3 reds, she said, were 0.6, 1.5, and 0.3. So we're going to make our way from darkest to lightest. So I'm just going to be following the example we have here in terms of where the shadows go, which is where my darkest color is going to be. And the best approach when you have a larger image like this is to do a few sections at a time, because you don't want your ink to have time to dry. If it does dry, it's not going to blend as well. So now I'm on the 1.5. I'm going to put the tip on the edge of that darker red and just kind of pull the color. So I'm pulling it one direction, and then I'll go to that light red, the 0.3, and do the same thing. So pulling the color away from the dark. And that is going to create the illusion of highlights, midtones, and shadows. And the great thing about our glitter paper is it makes it effortless to create that look. So we're just going to repeat that process on all of the petals. They don't all have to look the same. Remember, flowers are all unique, so if your light source is a little bit different on them, that's okay. I'm on my mid-tone now. And let me know if you decided to do your poinsettia a different color. That is always interesting to me. You could do it more of a pinky color. You could do it really any color you want.
They have yellow, they have blue, they have pink, they have orange.
Purple. All right, we have 2 more petals. So dark, medium, light. Another tip for you, notice how I have some like jaggedy edges with my ink. That makes it look kind of natural instead of just a straight line across. And then our light red. Okay, so now we need that color for the center. Looks like gray to me.
Yeah, I used a warm gray. Number, I think 9, is it?
I see 7, so I'll try that. WG7. That looks pretty close to me. Okay, there's our poinsettia. Beautiful. And now what's left is to cut it out and put it onto the card with pop dots. There you can see that dimension. Just makes it really stand out. So this was our second project we completed. It's a beautiful card. I hope you had fun making that, and don't forget about your homework to finish those leaves.
Okay, so our next card, we're just going to jump right in and do 3 in a row here because we're just kind of building up our steam. And Jackie, your coloring was phenomenal. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So it's all a matter of what colors you take or choose. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work on this, another slimline card, which I like slimlines. Do you guys like them? I think they're fun and easy to pop in the mail. So let's go ahead and look for our kit, which is going to be, see here. Sorry, I'm looking, and it looks like it's this one right here. So it has this brown bag. You could tell by the number 10 envelope. And then the stickers that we are going to use are our borders. We're going to use some dots. We're going to use our sentiment again. And then we are going to use the berries and the pine cone. Okay? So for this one, what I think is most fascinating is how you could actually use something, a berry, which is kind of considered more like fruity, summery, that type of thing, but make it have a holiday spin. I think that's really cool to do something like that. Okay, so I'm just kind of clearing off my area. Are you guys clearing your area off? Because that is, me and Jackie, we can really make a mess at times. So there we go. Okay, so Jackie's taken all of these out. We will color last, so I'm going to put the pine cone and the berries over to the side, but we are going to need these three as we're making our card. Okay? All right, let's go ahead. Let's open up our packet. Okay, here we go. And again, we have a pre-scored card. Now the pre-scored card, we're actually using that here in our design, so we are going to want to fold that, and we need it. We're not going to put it aside. We're not making a separate base, so this we need, okay? And then we have our brown bag paper, and then we have our stripe paper. So these are the things that we need right here, these three things. We do not need the envelope. Alrighty. Okay, so I think we have 2 cuts, is that right?
Yes, so the stripe patterned paper is 8.5 by 2.
Okay, so it's already 8.5, which is kind of nice. I'm trying to see if I could get in here. We have to kind of go out a little bit. Yep, by 2, there we go. So here's 2. Okay, so there's that piece. If you like the other side, you can feel free to use the trees.
Next is the brown bag at 8.5 by 3/4 of an inch.
So again, it's already 8.5, so we'll do this 3/4. Okay, and we have a lot of extra of this, so there's that. And I believe that's all the cutting, right?
That's it.
Okay. Easy. So now we're going to have this. Now if you have a bone folder or something that you could kind of make this crease a little bit nicer, that would be good. I like to use my tweezers.
You know what we didn't talk about? The gifts that came with this box.
Oh,
Do you have one of those?
no.
Oh.
Because not everybody got a gift.
Most of you got the gift.
What do you want to say about it?
I wanted to show the fun little pencil case that we gave.
Okay, I have one of those. I could grab it on our break.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to store all of your tools in there. We like to do little gifts for those of you who pre-order the box. It's a nice perk you get. And then some of you got gift certificates in your box as well, because this is a winter gift edition. So we thought that would be a nice gift for yourself.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and put this stripe paper right on the bottom of our card. So as you're talking, I was just going to keep going.
So these gifts that you're making today are for others, and then we went and gave you a gift from us.
Okay. Got that. Now, the thing about this one is you want to make sure you have enough room for your sentiment. So I think we should do that first before we put this piece on, only because we want enough room. Okay? So I'm trying to see how to make that. So let's go like this. Okay? So we want snow, falling, winter, calling. How many of you have gotten snow already?
Okay, it looks like there might be a setting I need to adjust for the gift certificate, so just give me till the end of the day and I'll make sure that's fixed for you. How many of us got snow?
Yeah.
We did. And we also got 5 inches of rain.
Yep, a lot of rain. So I'm putting the winter. So I'm going to offset this a little bit and kind of go right below my F. So snow falling, winter. And again, this winter just likes to give me the worst time by going up. There we go. Winter and then calling. I like having these sheets where it has a lot of different kind of different words.
We have a spring words. We have a. Do we have a fall words?
I don't know.
Do we have a summer words?
I don't remember now. We have so many stickers now. Okay. Now, if you want to be creative, you could put a little dot here. Because, see, this one came with a dot. This one didn't. You could look on your sheet here, put maybe a snowflake. Or you could just put one of these mini tiny dots. Whatever you want. Or maybe not. Maybe I don't like that. Let's see. I don't know if I want anything. Okay, so now that we have this down, it really does help us figure out where we want this. So that's why I wanted to do that first, okay? Now, my G went over the paper. If you want that, great. But I think this time I'm going to put it right below the G. So we'll do it that way. So I'm now just off camera, or no, I'm still on camera. That's good. Taping my paper. I'm going to line it up just like this. Okay. Make sure it's somewhat straight. Looks like I need to put it down just a little bit, and there we go. Okay. Now we're going to do our border sticker. So we're going to use the chain on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to switch this around so I could work on this one. And if we go to our border sticker right here, we have our chains. Now we don't carry this one. This was special for you guys. So no, this one is not on the web. And if you have some insides, put down your chain and then we'll poke out those insides. Okay? Now, your chain is not going to be the 8.5. So it's going to stop short. So let's put both the top and the bottom, and then I'll show you how to fix that. So let me get the second one. I'm so grateful for these tweezers, let me tell you, today particularly. So if you sign up and get that all occasion box, you're going to get the tweezers as a gift. That's for today. And don't forget that wonderful pokey tool right here. It's a weeding tool. Like I have this one right here that I could get that out. This is amazing. So you want that. Okay, so now I'm short on my chain. So I'm going to pull a third one. There we go. And I don't need the whole thing, so I'm just going to kind of trim. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the chain up where it kind of ended. And then I'm going to trim the excess from there. So when you line it up, nobody can see where it stopped. Okay? There we go. So we got that one. And then we have our dots. So it looks like we have 2 of the small, 2 medium, and a large. Okay, so we're going to start with the small. We'll put these 2 over here. Okay, and then we're going to go with a large and 2 mediums. Don't you love having the different sizes? I just think that's so cool. Okay, and it looks like we have snowflakes around here. So the snowflakes are on 2 different spots. You could take them off of your words, or I believe if you go to, yes, the pine cones, they're also on here. So let's take them off of our pine cone. So we could put one up here. We could kind of put a smaller one. I think the little sticker embellishments just is a really nice touch. Now, personally, when I'm doing a card, I put these on last. Only because I like to see where to put them. But I think we're safe by putting them kind of where we are. I'm using these larger ones right now. And I'm putting it up here. And then I'll probably put one right there and we'll call it good. Alright, so there, we have our whole card done. So now we're going to worry about this part, which is the glittery part. Now on the pine cone, you have the actual pine leaves or vine or whatever they're called. So when you look at your sticker, you're going to notice that there are 2 different sizes. There's a smaller one and a larger one. So there's 3 large, 3 small, okay? So I put the larger one here and the smaller one here. Now this was kind of hard for me to figure out how to arrange it. So if you're making this card, it may take you a few times. It's always better to have all your glitter images so that you could kind of put them around and see where to go. Okay, so let's go ahead, but since I kind of figured it out for my sample, let's go ahead and take this larger one. Okay, that's what's nice for you guys. If you like to follow along, I kind of figured it out. And this one is going to kind of go like this. Okay. And maybe not put it down real tight, so if you have to lift it up because you want to replace it later, you could do that. But I'm just kind of making sure we have that down. And then we're going to go ahead and put that one over here, which will kind of help us how we place things. So now we have all of our stickers. It's time to go on to the glitter image. Okay, so we'll put that aside. Let's get our glitter paper and see what we need here. Okay, so it looks like we have different types of pine cones. So we have one that's open and one that is closed. So we're going to get one of each. Okay. And this. Okay. And then we have our berries. Now when you look at the berries and you peel these, they're all one piece. So we're going to go in here. Let's see. Peel it up. And you can see it's all one piece. But what I did was eventually when I cut, I separated this one out to be by itself and I just had these 2. Okay? So we could color them this way, but when we cut them out, we want to separate them. So it's easier to see, I think, right here. I cut this right here and I went into the line right there and I kind of made this a whole separate berry. That's how I got it to go over there. So that's what's so fun when it is a sticker, you can redo things. You don't have to keep it the way it is. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to roll. It's amazing how much you use your thumb when you can't use your thumb. So it's just, okay. There we go. Make sure. And then what we want to do is if you have any insides, you want to either take your tweezers and get them out, or this brand new poking tool can get it out. It's called a weeding tool, actually. Jackie will tell you I like to make up names for things. So I think in this case I need my tweezers because it's stuck. There we go. And there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and do the berries first. So the leaves are more of that olive tone. So we're going to use the YG 2.5 and I'm going to use this YG 8.7. So dark, light. Okay. I'm telling you. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with our dark, which is the YG 8.7. And we're going to come in here and we're just going to put where we want our darker shade. And we're not going to do a lot, like Jackie probably told you. You want a little bit. And then you want to come in with your lighter color while it's still wet and kind of shade. So now I'm using the YG 2.5. Now the YG, the dark green, can look like it's not blending well. Don't overwork it. Let it alone for a couple seconds and then go back. If you overwork and keep whittling away in the same spot, you are going to oversaturate the paper and start removing the glitter. So like even on cardstock, you have to let it dry. And sometimes when it dries, it looks really good. So if I wanted to come back now and add a little bit more dark, I've let it dry a few seconds, and then I could kind of go in and blend it. Okay? So now I'm going to make this part of the leaves also green. Normally if it was summer, I'd probably do that in a yellow, but it's winter. Get that right there. Get that in there. And honestly, guys, let it dry. Things look different once they're dry. When it's wet, it has a whole different look. Okay, so there, we did all of our green, and I think it looks fabulous. So now we're going to go in and do our berries. Now the berries, I'm going back to this R5.5 and R5.7. Okay, so the 5.7 has that darker brown look, and the 5.5 has the lighter color. So the 5.7, just kind of go into your berry. There's really no rhyme or reason where you want to shade. Okay, oops, I forgot the green there. I got to go back. So we're going to come in and do our berries. Okay. One thing that you should be aware of, you don't want too much dark, because once something's dark, you cannot make it light again. So I'm going to go back with my green, kind of get this area here. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then back to the berries. So again, if you're not sure what side is your darker side, read that bar code And we're going to go in here. And I'm just kind of going underneath where a shadow might be when I'm kind of putting my dark. And then I'm going to come in with this lighter color, which is R5.5. And just kind of color. Okay. And we'll do it one more time. I think the berries are the easiest because you don't need a lot of dark. Then you just kind of come in. And I think this color is beautiful. You know, this R5.5 and 5.7 are really perfect for the holiday. It has that kind of maroon red to it, and I just think it's so pretty. Okay. And look, we got all of our berries done. Now look how different the color dried compared to the wet color. So you could see that it definitely does have a different look once it's dried. Okay, so now to do our pine cones, I kind of have a new favorite, which is this 04.6, 04.3. And if I want to add a little bit more dark, I'm going to go for the, I think I have an 04.8. Let me check. Of course, I could use my swatch book, but because I know you guys don't have that yet, I don't see it. So I'm not going to use it yet because I will start using it more next year. So you want to get that swatch book. I'm telling you, it really helps. But I'm going to use OR 3.8 for the really, really dark, okay? So let's go ahead and start with this one. And it is really dark. So, am I going to do a lot? No. Just a little bit here and there, just to give that shadow. Then I'm going to come in with my 4.6, 04.6, which is also just kind of a medium color. But look how pretty that brown is. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Remember, you want to leave room for the light. And then I'm going to come in with the 4.3 with my really light. And that is, and I don't care, I'm going to color in there because I'm going to be cutting that out. I'd rather have the color on it than worry about staying in lines. Now if you have a Brother Scan and Cut, that will cut out your images. You just scan it and cut. And there's that. Look how pretty that pine cone is. So let's go ahead, do this other one. Again, you just want to splatter the dark. I'm trying to go where I think there would be a shadow a bit, but it really doesn't matter. I always tell people if you do nothing, people will know. But if you at least put some shadowing, you look like you know what you're doing. If you do nothing on the whole thing, it will look flat. So you don't want that. Okay. So now I'm going to go to my lightest color and just kind of blend. Now, if you take a light color and go over too much of the dark color, you will erase the dark color. So I'm basically going on the edges. Okay, so I don't want to erase my dark shadows. All right. There's my pine cones. So we got our pine cones and our berries. So that looks delightful. Now, when you go to put this together, you are definitely going to want to trim out this one right here by cutting it at the stem, and then you're going to just cut on the sticker, the black part of the sticker, to make it a separate berry. Okay, and then these two stay hooked and they go on top with a dimensional over your pine cones. And that's how that works. So let's look at that card one more time. And you can see the dimensionals are just this part right here. Isn't that cute? What do you think, Jackie?
I think it's a great card. So I think we're going to take a short break now just so we can organize our space and get ready for some of the more fancy fold cards. So we'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you soon. Hey Crazy Crafters, we're back with the Krazy Krafter Box Winter Gifts Edition. We have made 3 cards so far, can you believe it? And we're having fun crafting and making winter gifts. So some are holiday, some are just winter themed. And speaking of winter, I just looked, it is cold here, but it's actually 29 degrees.
Yeah, it's very cold. My feet are freezing.
It got down to 19 degrees the other night, so we are definitely in the spirit for winter. Now, I hope you're having fun with us. One thing I forgot to mention in the beginning was that even though we're live right now, you're going to be able to replay this video whenever you want. So if you need to go back and rewatch a section, you can do that as many times and whenever you like.
Absolutely. And where do they find that?
Facebook or YouTube.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do our 4th card. Remember, we're making 7, so this will be kind of our middle one.
All right, so let's get started. We're going to switch our camera angle and jump into our 4th project.
Okay, so this one is a gift card holder, meaning that when you open it, there's a little pocket here where you could slide a little gift card in there. So I think that's so cute. It's really fun to make. And I love the sticker, and it goes so well with the paper. What do you think? I think it's gorgeous. So in order to make this particular card, we're going to need our snow globe deer. We are not going to need our words this time, so we can put those aside. Are we using our, yes, we're using our border, and we are going to use our dots, and then we need this kit with the snowflake paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this kit. Okay, and there's that. And so we have in here a envelope, which we're not going to need. We have our snowflake paper. Now what's fun about this is if you're not somebody who cares for the blue, you could use the brown side. So it's really a choice, whichever one you like. Same with the deer. You could use the gold deer or you could use the silver trees, okay? So whichever one you like. We're going to go with the blue tone in our card today.
Let's do something fun in our comments. Let us know if you're team silver or team gold. So the sample has silver.
And then we have 2 of these, and I'm not sure why I have 2. That may have been where I should have only had 1. I don't know. We will find out. Okay, so what is our first step?
Trimming our black cardstock.
Okay. What is the size?
11 by 5.5.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out my larger one that I can see the 11. Well, we already know it's 11 this way, so we want 5.5 this way. So I do need to have the larger one. I'm going to go to 5.5. So it's going to be just like this. Okay? All right.
Oh, Team Silver's winning.
Okay, we're doing that.
Okay, we're going to skip the scoring instructions right now. Trim the deer tree once and the blue snowflake patterns 3 times. 3.5 by 5.25 each.
Okay, so this is at 5.5, so we want 5.25. So I kind of want the top of my deers to show. So I think I'm going to cut the quarter off the bottom.
So 5.25.
Okay.
By 3.5.
And I'm going to go 3.5 this way. So 3.5. Okay.
Okay, we need to do the same with the snowflake paper.
Now the snowflake, it doesn't matter which way you go as much because there's snowflakes everywhere. So I'm going to just cut off 1/4 inch because it was 5.5, so now it's 5.25. And I want it to be
3.5. Maybe you better check. It says 3 times, but are you sure you only need 2?
Who knows what I do? We'll put the deer paper in.
Okay.
3.5. I think the paper cutters did it again. Hey guys, it's a crazy box. We're crazy ladies here. So we're going to do it twice, okay? And then we're going to need 1 more cut. So we're going to cut this one at 3.5. I think so. So let's do 2 of these, okay? Just so we're prepared. Sound like a plan? So now we have those. And do we have to cut our snowflake one more time?
Yes, so trim snowflake paper at an angle.
No, not that. We'll do that later. This little piece, oh no, that's black. Okay, let's start making the card, and then if we have to cut some more, we will.
We'll have to cut some black and white.
Oh, what are we cutting?
Trim white cardstock.
You could tell we are just kind of going along here.
3.5 by 1 3/4.
White cardstock?
And then 2 3/4 by 4.5. So however you want to make that work. We have 2 white cuts.
Okay.
The larger one is 4.5 by 2 3/4.
All right, so we'll do 2 3/4. This is for your sentiment. 4.5.
4.5.
Okay.
And then the smaller one is 3.5 by 1 3/4.
So let's go 1 3/4. 3.5. Okay.
Black. So now we need to trim black. So the larger one is 5.5 by 3/4.
Let's go ahead and cut this. Well, let's do 3/4. What's the other one?
3 3/4 by 2. So it looks like one is for the inside here and then a strip for the inside of the card.
Okay, so we'll do 5.5 this way by 3/4. It's funny how you have to know all your math. Okay, and what was the other one?
3 3/4 by 2.
So if we do have a 2 here, so we could do 3 3/4. Yay! So that piece cut off. 3 3/4. Got it. Okay. Is that everything?
I believe so.
Alright.
We have to trim a right angle, but I guess we'll do that later.
Yeah, I think we should do that when we do our card. Okay, so now I think we need a scoreboard, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're not familiar, this is a scoring board. And what it does, it has like little grooves and a bone folder. So when you put your paper on here, I seem to have something in there, there we go. You can put your score tool, your bone folder, in the groove and make a score line on which to fold.
So we need our black cardstock that's 11 by 5.5. We're going to score it at 3 3/4 and 7.5.
So 3 3/4. Now, does anyone know what 3 3/4 is times 2?
7.5.
So I'm going to turn this because I have a mini one and mine doesn't go to 7.5. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 3/4 again, which is half of 7.5. So now I have 3 panels, 1, 2, 3. Okay?
Okay, now it says to mark an angle on the last third panel from the upper left, score a line to 2.5.
Yes, so what we want to do is we are going to be cutting from here, this score line, down here, and this is supposed to be 2.5.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and fold this one while I go get a ruler.
Okay. Where did our card go? Oh, here it is. I just want to make sure I'm doing my folds right. So it looks like the left side folds in, the right side folds in. So they both fold towards the center. They got one side. Alright, so now they're nice and creased.
Alright, so you said down to where here?
2.5.
Okay, so I'm putting my ruler at 2.5 and I need to mark this. So I'm going to use a pencil. And by the way, a sand eraser will erase the pencil, right?
Yeah, any eraser should.
Okay, so I don't know if you could see that, but it's right there. So now I'm going to get my cutter back. And we are going to angle from this score line down to that pencil mark. And that's why I like this particular cutter, because it has a wire in it, which really helps. Okay, so when we cut that, now when this folds in, this will be the part for our pocket.
Okay, Now we're going to start adhering some papers.
Okay, so go.
Adhere the deer paper to the front of the card.
Okay, somehow this didn't get the right one. Okay, we're just gonna true it up. The deer paper.
Oh, here's a question we can answer while you're doing that. Is today's box sold out? Yes, the box for today is sold out. So make sure that you're pre-ordering your box. So the next box is now on the website. It's called the All Occasion Box because we're going to be doing cards for all different occasions, from birthday to thank you to sympathy, all types. So that is now available for pre-order. Don't miss it. Okay, so now we'll do the deer paper.
So this is going to go right in the center of this one. When you do a fancy fold, this is called a fancy fold card, you don't need a pre-scored card in this case because you're making the card. Okay.
Oh, okay, so next, adhere 2 snowflake pattern papers to the first 2 panels on the inside of the card.
Now this is where we took the deer, so we could choose to put the deer here then, like that, and then we'll make our other snowflake here, okay? So what I'm telling you is that we should have had 3, but I think mathematically what happened was we calculated for the 11 and not 8.5. So we're actually going to mix it up and put the deer here, the snowflake here. I think it'll look beautiful. That's what you get crafting with us crazy gals. Crazy things happen, but they're always beautiful. Okay, so we're going to go in here. All right, and this is where we have to cut the angle of the snow paper. So this is going to go here, and we need this angle to go from here to here, right?
It says 2 1/4.
Yes, so what we're going to do is we're going to mark 2 1/4 on this side. Where'd that ruler go? There it is. 2 1/4 right here. And we're going to do the same thing where we line up this to the 2 1/4. Okay. Test it and make sure. So mine is a little bit long, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I am going to trim off a little bit. I don't like to do 1/8 of an inches when I do my instructions, so if you feel you want a little bit more matting, feel free to trim off that 1/8 of an inch, but I don't like to put it always in my instructions. Sometimes I have to, but by doing that, you get to see a little bit more of the black. So I like that. Okay, so that worked out for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down.
And you want to glue your panel down too.
Yes, so first let's go ahead and put this on, because I like to make sure that I folded it over. What if I went ahead and I put it on the wrong side? That would not be cool. Okay.
Okay, I see another comment I can address. I didn't see any email for the new box. Did you send one out? Yes. There's 3 emails going out today about the new box.
You know what? That happened to me yesterday with the sticker. I never got the first one, And so I don't know what's happening with that. So Jackie is sending them 3 times. So you might get the second or the last one. Okay, so now I put the adhesive here on the inside to make the panel. And if you want a stronger adhesive, you could use the score tape. That's totally up to you. And then I went ahead and we cut this black. And I'm going to put that right here to kind of give this a little bit more support. So it's going to be right on the inside of the fold so that you want to make sure you could still fold your card, okay? You don't have to do this part, but I find if people take something in and out, you want a little bit of support. Okay. So we got that. So now we have our little pocket here to put our gift card in.
Okay, so let's do some of the
Shall we do this
areas for
part?
the sentiment. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and put this down.
Do you want to put the... Never mind.
And I believe we're putting a border around this, right? Let's look at our
Yes.
sample. Yes, we need a border.
It looks like a chain, or maybe... No,
Did we not cut that?
we did. I thought we did.
No, we didn't.
No, I didn't see it here.
Well, we can cut it. It's not a problem. We have people prepping for our parade outside, so if you hear noise, could be that. Our little town does have a parade. So I'm putting the chain around the white, and this is where you could write your sentiment. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do side to side. And yes, you can also, if you have 2 short pieces, like if this one's shorter, you could do that same thing that we did before on the chain. And just loop another piece where it goes. And I love that because then you're not wasting any border. Okay. So I lied when I said that we didn't need that word one because we do need the word one. Okay.
Oh, are you waiting for me?
Okay, so we're going to do this part right here.
We need to measure that. So our white is going to be 2 1/4 by 2. As I don't see it, oh, it is in here, but it didn't get green. That's why I missed it. Trim white cardstock 2 1/4 by 2. Adhere to black cardstock 2 1/2 by 2 1/4. So those dimensions are the 3rd line from the bottom of the paragraph. And I want to thank those of you who've been liking and hearting our videos. We love to see your enthusiasm, and we thank you for showing it to us.
Okay, so now we could put our sentiment on, and it says Snowflake Kisses Winter Wishes. So let's get this snowflake word right here. And this is off the winter words. Snowflake. That. Kisses. And winter wishes. Okay, and where's wishes? Here it is. Okay, and then if you have any insides, you could take that weeding tool or your tweezers here. Always put them down on the paper first and then just kind of scrape. It works so much better that way. Okay. There we go. And then if you want to, we could add a few snowflakes. So let's take it off the winter word. And we're going to go ahead and maybe put one here. And that was a large. I'm going to put a smaller one here and another smaller one. And you know what's really fun to do is we could put on our little dots here, the tiny dots, we could put them in the middle of our snowflake to kind of give it a bit of a holographic fun look. So there we are. There we are. Whoa, that one went flying, so I'm going to do another one. Okay, isn't that kind of cute?
Yeah, I like the little jewels in the center of the snowflakes. It adds a little bling. We're going to adhere that onto the card in the center. And also, I like that you have a spot to write your sentiment on that left side for a handwritten message. Now let's decorate the front.
Okay, so the front, we need this, it looks like. So this is, this looks kind of large. What happened? Do I have the wrong piece? But we could trim it down. So we can go ahead. I think we need to trim off.
Here's our ruler.
Yeah.
Okay, so the black is supposed to be 3 1/4, and the white is 3.
Okay, I might have done it wrong. So 3. There's the 3. And I'm going to let you put the white on because my tape runner I have to go refill. There you go.
You have one right here. But I can do the white on the black.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm off the camera here. And then we need Season of Magic, which would be on the Dear Snow Globe sticker.
Okay, so right here you see where there's a holly. So let's go ahead and put that on the paper similar to what we did with that poinsettia card. So we're just going to kind of decorate it by putting it here. That's where that sticker came from. And I don't think that's a piece. That's just how that one looks. And remember, you really want to make sure it's down so when you color, it doesn't bleed. Okay? And then we'll do that Season of Magic. So let's put magic down first. Oh, it's hard from this angle. I'm going to move the card and kind of go like this. Okay, so magic, maybe right here. Of season and then we could put the same type of snowflakes, you know, on here. And this deer one has really tiny snowflakes as well. So you might want to try a couple of those. And just kind of add that along wherever you want. And then we'll put that holographic in there again. Okay, so here we are. I just really like that look. Okay. And then we're going to color
The leaves and the holly.
Yeah, so let's get our colors ready. So for the holly leaves and then the berry. So I'm going to use this whoops, wrong one. Did I put that one away? I did. I'm going to use that 8.7 again and 2.5. So 8.7 YG. Again, be really careful. I hate doing things over. So now I'm using YG 2.5. Okay. And if you need to fix up like your dark, because remember it doesn't blend like it does on the glitter paper, you can, but let it dry, kind of see what it looks like. One thing you might try is just putting dots, a little bit of dots on the paper. Sometimes that makes it look a little nicer. So just kind of put some dots. Now I'm putting my lighter color and it kind of blends it a little nicer. Okay. And then we need our berries. So 1.5 is the red, and I'm just dotting that in there. There we go. Okay, so now we'll put our card back. We'll get this on.
All right, one question. The Season of Magic, is it on white cardstock or glitter paper? It's on the white cardstock. The only thing on glitter paper for this card is the snow globe deer.
Okay, so I want to show you guys I have a problem. This is something I did because my thumb and my fingers are not doing the job. That's why it's really important to use a tool. This is what happened. So how to correct that? Basically, you can't. You got to start over. You could maybe cut another leaf and put it to the side. But if that happens to you, there's not a lot you could do on the cardstock. Do you have any suggestions?
No, because even the colorless blender might make it a mess.
Yeah, so you just be careful. And that's what my little problem today is. I'm used to using that thumb and I should have used this, but I didn't. But I'm kind of glad to show you. So one thing that I might do so I didn't have to do all this is cut maybe a corner of paper and put a new one on there or something like that. Or you could try to cut another leaf and move it over to kind of have an overlap. But as you can see, when you do it right, you don't have that problem. Okay? So it's all a learning experience. Don't worry if that happened to you. Okay, so now we're going to go up here.
Here's a suggestion. Use black to go around it.
You could try, but be careful that that doesn't bleed because, again, when you have cardstock and you're using alcohol ink markers, you need to have a blending cardstock for alcohol ink markers. This is the other part of what created the problem. This is not blending cardstock. It's just white cardstock. So therefore, your markers will bleed if you use that to color on cardstock. We always suggest Nina Solar Crest White 80 pound or Express It. You have to have, no matter what brand of alcohol ink, the right cardstock, or this will happen. I guarantee you. Okay? Get our card back in here, and we're going to do our snow globe. Now, what's nice about the snow globe is it actually is going to come up all in one. Okay. Okay.
Remember to burnish. This is our brayer tool. And our burnishing tool. Just like you can never have too much sparkle, you can never burnish too much.
All right, so let's go ahead and do our leaves again since we have those colors out. Whoops, keep doing that. YG 8.7, YG 2.5. So we're going to go here and do this leaf. And remember, don't do a lot of the darker colors. Okay, then we're going to come in with the YG 2.5. That's why coloring on glitter paper is so awesome. Okay, and this little part here, and then we're going to come down here, and we're going to get that little part. Okay, there's that. Now the tree here, we're going to go ahead and do the G 1.7. So we're going to make our tree just a little bit different, just add a little bit of that. And then we're going to come in with the G 0.4. Okay, pretty tree. All right, now what's nice is we're not, oh, I forgot a leaf. We're not going to be coloring the deer. So let's go back and do that leaf. And I'm putting my dark just down the center.
The deer is more of a silhouette on this sticker. So you just see the shadow of it.
Okay, and then we're going to, what should we do next? Shall we do the berries? Okay, so we have that 1.5. And again, when you have little areas, it really helps to dot. Just kind of add a dot rather than rub and color it. Now, if a little bit of our leaf went out, you can try to use the colorless blender here. One side of our blender is not so cool, so let me go see here. It's dry. Okay. You could kind of try to erase it by using the colorless blender, but we're also going to go over with the color, so it'll be all right. Okay, so now let's do the bottom here of the snow globe, and I'm going to use that 4.6 and 4.3. 4.6.
How is everyone doing? Let us know in the comment section. I'm trying to keep up with all of your questions.
Okay, and then in here I used a gray. Now the gray for the Olos, the first cool grays were actually purple in nature. So that's why this looks a little bit more purple. So I'm using CG3. And I'm just putting a little in, and then I'm going to use my colorless blender trying to see, oh, here's the side, to just kind of blend that into the white. There we go. And then I'm going to keep my colorless blender handy because we're going to now do the outside of this globe. And I'm going to use this B2.2. And I'm just going to put some color, a little bit. Maybe I'll put a little bit in here. A little bit here. Okay. Then I'm going to take that colorless blender and I'm just going...
Make sure it's clean.
Yeah, I made sure mine was, but that's true. Make sure it's clean. And I'm just kind of blending the rough edges here.
This is to just make it look like a snowy sky. Instead of leaving it plain white, it adds dimension because you're getting that hint of color. Same with snow. Snow, you want that hint of color. Otherwise, it just looks so flat and plain.
Okay, so there's a couple things. So I want to go more toward the center here. So what I could do now is take that 2.2 and I'm going to take my colorless blender, kind of pick up a little bit of color on my colorless blender and kind of go more toward the middle. Which gives it not as dark of a look. And it kind of goes right in there. Kind of. And that method is called what? The kiss method.
Because your pens are kissing.
Okay, so there we go. We have that beautiful look. Clean off your marker, your colorless blender, and then you're going to trim that out and you are going to place it right here on the card. Now when you get to this part of your sticker, lift it up, cut underneath it, and this was put on with a dimensional.
Pop dot.
Pop dot. Pop dot
Foam
dimensional.
dot. What do you call it? There's so many different ways. You could say foam dot, pop dot, foam dimensional, and if you have another name, let us know.
Okay, so that one took us through card number 4, right?
Yeah, so we're on to number 5, and this one inspired the button. So let's look at our button. Do you know where that went? Here it is. So each of you got a collectible button in your box, and that way we can remember how much fun we had together. This is the little ice skates sticker that we offer, and it says Winter Gifts Edition 2024. I'd love to know how many buttons you've collected from us over the years. But if you look carefully in the background, there's some winter elements. I thought that was really cute. You could see a snowman, a sweater, a scarf. So let's get started with our ice skates card. Do we have our sample? So this one is another fancy fold. And let's see how it opens. This is what it looks like when it's closed. And then the middle part opens to reveal the ice skates. How cute. Ready?
Yes, so we need our kit, which is this. And then you're going to need your ice skates, your dots, and your border. Do you want to open that?
Okay, so we need to do our guts first. Here's our papers. We need our blue cardstock. So this time our card base is, what do you call that?
Brown bag paper.
Brown bag.
So I think we need to zoom out. Go. So here is the brown bag. It has a pre-scored line in it. We're going to go ahead and make it into our card. Okay, so we have that part done. And then the blue, like you were saying, is
Blue is going to be 4 by 5 1/4.
okay, so 4 by 5 1/4. Got it.
Brown bag cardstock, 3 3/4 by 5.
3 3/4 by 5.
White cardstock. So this is for the front sentiment, 3 1/4 by 1 1/2.
So let's go ahead and do the 1 1/2.
We also need to do 2 3/4 by 2 3/4.
Yeah, so if we do 1 1/2, I keep doing that because it's hard for me to do that. There we go. By 3 1/4.
3 1/4.
3 1/4. Got it. Okay, so that will be for the bottom of the card. Got it.
That one needs to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4.
Okay.
And now we need our winter patterned paper, 6 by 6.
Okay, so that is this right here. So as you could see when Jackie had this closed, this part was on the outside and the opposite is the sweater. So I'm going to get my bigger cutter to do 6 by 6. So here is 6. Now this is a Krazy Creation pattern paper. And do you remember the name of it? The
Winter
collection?
Frolic.
Winter Frolic.
I don't think we have it.
So you guys are lucky you get to use it. So you're going to have this extra paper right here.
Okay, so taking that paper, we need our score buddy. Score it at 1 1/2 and 4 1/2. Then you're going to turn the paper and repeat.
So I really just want to point this out that on your instructions we are going to be scoring 1 1/2 and 1 1/2 from this side, then 1 1/2 and 1 1/2. So this square in here I believe becomes 3 by 3. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So we're going to do 1 1/2. Oops.
And 4 1/2.
Yeah, I was just going to turn it around just to kind of follow my little instructions. And then we're going to do 1 1/2 this way. And I'm going to turn it so I do another 1 1/2. So what's in here now should be 3 by 3. Okay? So
Says to fold on the score lines.
yeah, so let's go ahead and fold.
Now, which paper should be facing up?
Now that's up to you. So I wanted my sweater to be on the inside. So if you want that, I'm going to be folding this way toward with this on the outside. I need my tools today. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold. Okay. All right. Now we're going to have to trim, right?
Trim each of the 4 corners on the score lines.
So again, if we go back to that pattern that I gave you, each of these little corners are going to get trimmed out, okay? So that's why if you fold, you could kind of follow your score line. So I'm going to go ahead And I'm just cutting directly on the score line. So I'm cutting out one corner. I'm going to do this 4 times.
Oh, so I'm going to read some of these comments. That's funny. So Barbara says, pop it like a dot. Drop it like it's hot. Pop it like a dot.
I like that.
Cindy has 8 buttons so far.
Wow. That's a loyal person. Cindy, thank you. Okay, so we're going and we're doing this last one. So now your paper should look like this.
Okay, so then
should I wait for everyone to catch up?
I'm just going to read here. Fold paper at a diagonal as shown by the blue lines in the illustration. So let's look at our illustration here.
Okay, so you see these blue dot lines? So these are the pieces we have left. So I'm now going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to turn mine this way so that I could kind of see what's going on. Actually, let's look at this sample just for you. So if it were down, we actually can be this way just so I'm not confusing you. When this goes up, this corner is going to go down. And again, I'm sorry, my thumb is just really bothering me here. So if you just kind of take the bottom edge and you kind of match it like that. That's what you want. That's what you want. Okay, so we had it facing this way. We folded this in. Then we took the upper left and we folded so it matched the bottom here. Okay, Jackie, I'm going to have to ask you to do the same for all of these because it's hurting my thumb.
Okay.
So we're going to do that again. We're going to fold this up, and then we're going to take that piece, and it's going to go down.
And you're just going to follow the line of the paper.
So there's 3. And then, hey, look, your nail polish matches the paper, kind of.
Yeah, I love flowers.
Okay, so now what you want to make sure is now that we have this, we could go ahead and put our white in here. But I do want to tell you, when you put this down, you want to make sure that your pattern is going the correct way. Okay, so you don't want it upside down. Okay, so there's that. So shall we go ahead and put the middle in?
It's right here.
Okay, so we're going to put this 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 square into the middle here, which is eventually where one of our glitter images is going to go. Okay, and then we're going to use our border sticker. Well, here it is. And in the sample, we use the chain. So let's go ahead and do the chain. Okay. And I don't think this one is long enough, so I'm going to get another one. We could do the daisy chain, but I'm just going to go for another one.
Okay, I have a question for you from Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
What does the shipping schedule look like? I'm going to order the Olo swatch and a few more markers, but I'm going out of town in 3 weeks. Should I wait to order it?
To be honest, we pretty much will have everything's going to start shipping on Monday, what has been ordered so far. And the swatch book is pretty much done, so it should ship next week is the answer. We are all caught up from everyone who had a pre-Black Friday order.
The Black Friday for us started on Wednesday. We've been doing daily deals. So we've caught up, is what Kara's saying, on shipping up to Wednesday of this week. Now, I have a feeling that when we get onto our deal for Sunday and Monday, which is card kits, so keep your eyes peeled for an email about new card kits, that our shipping might slow down after that because that's going to be a lot of orders.
Right, it's the card kits that are all handmade.
But what we do is we send out orders in the order they were placed. So the orders on Wednesday will ship before the orders that are placed on Friday.
Correct. Hope that answered the question. But that swatch book, Wendy, is awesome, and I have been using a lot of it myself. So, been using it to color myself. It did take me quite a few hours to make the little color swatches, but it was very fun, and I was listening to a show, and now that I have it, I love it. Okay, so if you would like, I could show it again at the end of this video. So now that we have that, we're going to put our ice skates in here, and we're going to go to our sticker sheet and just grab a couple of these beautiful snowflakes and just kind of place them. And then we'll be doing our coloring in a minute. And I don't know exactly where that one's going to go, so I'm going to guess, and if I'd have to lift it up later, I will. So I'm just going to lightly put that down. Okay, so we have that, so let's make the rest of our card, shall we? Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to guess, Jackie, that the blue is going to go on here.
Yep, we're going to layer our cardstocks.
I really like this rustic winter look, meaning the brown bag with the blue.
Would you like to talk about our papers?
What about our papers?
You design them?
Oh, yes, I do design them. I didn't know if someone had a question about them. So all of our pattern papers we design here at Krazy Creation. We do one printing run of them. And then if we might reorder them, we might not. So at least we can control our paper supply better that way. So by the way, I just put that brown bag right in the center of this blue paper. And then I think it would be best if we went ahead and put this on. Now to close this, basically what you're going to do is, I start from the bottom. Wait, do I start? Yeah. So this has to go on there. This goes on there. And the last one, how did I do? Oh, yeah.
It's like closing a box.
Yes. The last one you just kind of tuck underneath. There it goes. And to be even more, just to make sure that I had it down, I kind of put a little bit of glue on these things because I didn't like them flapping up. Now, if you like them flapping up, go for it. I just like to know that they're down. So I kind of did that. And then make sure your card's going to open on the right side. And then this is going to go there. And make sure you have room for this. So I'm just kind of checking. That all looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this pocket down. And it helps having it closed so you could kind of see the orientation. Are you going somewhere fun, Wendy, in 3 weeks?
Somewhere warm.
Yeah, should we be jealous? There we go. And then this is going to go kind of like this. And then we're going to put our chain on it. So we're going to go to our border, put the chain around it. Okay. That in there. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the sides. Okay, I like this chain, it's just cute. Okay, now we need to put a sentiment, and that is found on your ice skate sticker. So if we go over here, it says have an ice day. So you could pick any one you want. What I love about this Krazy Krafter Box is that you have so much extra stickers and you have a lot of supplies left over. So I think that's really the best part. Plus we're making 7 different projects.
I'm learning new techniques.
Yeah. And there's that. Okay. And then we can again put our snowflakes on, or in this case I think we should wait until we've actually put the earmuffs. We could put the one down here in the corner. But for the rest, we should kind of wait, I think. Okay? We do have, let's just close this again, a little dot. Okay? We have our little dots right here. So I think what we'll do is, first of all, Kara should put this on straight. And we'll just kind of, there we go. Okay, and we have these dots, so it looks like I used what we call the medium, and I just kind of put 3, 1, 2. Now if you wanted these to be purple or blue dots, you can actually color over them with your marker, your alcohol ink marker, and it will change these to those colors. So that is another idea that you could do. Okay. So now all we have left is to color our earmuffs, and then remember what was on the inside was these skates. Find our glitter paper.
Now another thing that's great about the box is that you get so many extra supplies because we're only making 1 of each card, and on a typical outline sticker sheet there's 3 of each sticker. So you're going to have extra stickers, you'll have extra glitter paper, extra patterned papers, embellishments. You get so much in this box.
Okay, so ice skates. I was never an ice skater. I would just not be good at that. I was a roller skater. But anyway, here is our ice skates and our earmuffs. Now I did want to point out on the earmuffs, if you wanted to do a shadowy thing, there was this other piece in here. I did not use it, but it would go in there, and then you could kind of like make that the inside of the earmuff. Maybe you want to make that a different color. I didn't do that, but you can. And then also when you go to cut this part out, I just want to point out to you that again, use your scissors, cut through the sticker to cut like the inside parts, like go across, because it'll lay back down, and you could do that. Or you could just cut this part up, cut all in there. So what I'm talking about is when you look at mine and you're wondering how I did that, I went ahead and I literally cut this part off, see? And then I cut the inside and then I laid it back down. That's how I did that. Now, if you spend $150 in one day, you're going to get, what do we call that? The 360-degree rotating knife?
Doesn't count for today, though.
Oh, it doesn't?
Because we're already giving gifts.
Okay. But on the other days, that little rotating knife will also help you cut on the inside of these things. Because what it is, it's like a pen, and then it turns in there. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting gift. Okay, do you think you could color for this one?
Sure. I just need the colors.
Okay, so I'll let you do the burnishing, and I'll get you the colors. So we obviously want purple. We're going to use this colorless blender a little bit with the blue. And the purples we're using are our newer purples in Expo Set 7, which is BV 1.7.
Not online yet.
Yeah, because Ola's out of the colors. 1.4, so Ola will not have a new shipment to us until the end of the year.
They're a little slow on their shipping, so it takes us a while to get product from them. So if you see Olos in stock online, you should grab them.
Okay, so here are the purples, and there's a dark purple there. Okay.
So it's 3 purples?
Yes,
Okay.
if you want. Or you could just use the medium and light.
Oh, let's try it. Oh, I see. So the dark purple goes on this like tongue.
Correct.
And it doesn't look like we're doing any shading on that. So let's do that first. You can color over the lines of the sticker and it won't even show. It's kind of nice. You zoom in for us. Too much. There we go. And if you're coloring your ice skates differently, let me know which color you're using. Alright, so now I'm on to the medium purple. We're going to be using the medium purple and the light purple for the actual ice skate. So I'm going to put some medium at the base and then around the heel. And then a little on this top area along the right side. And then I'm going to grab my light purple and blend it. Now, one thing about coloring with alcohol markers, you can always add more dark, but you cannot take it away. So, if you want more dark purple or more medium purple, you can always go back and add it to your image. If you go too dark, you'd have to start completely over. So I'm going to let that dry and then see how I like it. Just a little bit. I'll go on to the next one. So this is my medium purple again. And then the light purple will be for blending it out. Coloring over the black part of the sticker just to make it easier for me. And I like that one. I think I need a little more medium purple on my other ice skates, so I'm going to go back. And another tip is that sometimes your colors will dry differently than when they're wet. So if you're not sure how you feel about your colored image, just wait for it to dry and then make your decision if you're going to go back and add more color. My purples are looking a little funky, but I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so now we need some blue for the blades of the ice skates. This is B 2.2. And then our colorless blender will blend that out. You could also do silver if you want for the blades of your ice skate. Silver would actually be gray. And we need to do our earmuffs. So for the headband part, it's going to be the blue again. And colorless blender. And then for the fuzzy part, it's going to be that medium and light purple. So I'm going to kind of go around one edge, kind of like in a half moon. And I'll copy it on this side. And then I'll grab my light purple and blend it out. Okay. I like how the earmuffs came out. Not a fan of my ice skates.
Why is that?
But it's alright. We
Yeah.
have 2 more sets if you don't like how yours came out.
It's all right, is right. I think they're pretty, but overall, then once you do that, you cut them out, put them on your card, and then you have this cute, and I think it's called the pocket card is the official name of it, and there's that. And so we've now made this card. Isn't that cute? So are we taking a short break?
This is our last break. It'll be 3 minutes long, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Then we'll do 2 more cards. Welcome back, Krazy Crafters. We have 2 cards to go. We're doing the Krazy Krafter Box Winter Gifts Edition.
Absolutely. So we have 2 more to go, like Jackie said, and I'm excited about this next one because I think it's really fun and a little bit different.
Okay, so let's jump in and get started.
So one thing about this one, we're going to need our dots. We're going to use this small mini. We call these mini stickers because they have one image, but they tend to have maybe more sentiment on it or something of that nature. And then we have the kit, and the kit has our brand new winter paper. I think it's called Yule Time, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so again, sorry. I'm going to have to learn how to do things with my left hand for a while. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this out. And get that out of there. And then in this case, we are going to need our pre-scored paper because that's going to be part of how we make the card. So we have all this paper, but what we will not need is the envelope. So let's put that aside. And then another handy thing is if you happen to have a corner rounder. I'm using the small corner rounder, meaning the corner isn't as large, but you could use the larger one. We were selling these, but I think we're currently sold out over the Black Friday, actually. So these are really great because they round corners on paper, and you'll see how we're going to use that too. So shall we get started by cutting our paper?
All right. Starting out with our wine colored cardstock.
Okay, I'm going to put these papers over here. Oh, did we look at the card? We didn't look at the card. Okay, so here's the card. And I just love this one because it's kind of a surprise card because you're wondering why it's not on a card. But it actually is because how it opens is it opens this way and then there's the pre-scored card. So it's kind of fun because it opens like that. The card is upside down and it's kind of like a little pocket card. And right here you see where this part is rounded. That's where I was saying we use the corner rounder, just to let you know. So then when you want to close it, it just tucks right behind the track. And again, my thumb. Okay, there we go. Isn't that cute? So that's what we're making.
Okay, before we get started, here's a question from Sandra. Question on the All-In Card Club is this cards that are your new releases each month. So in our card making club, we do include new releases, but not every card will be a new release. And classic, like we said, is the most popular. All-In is if you really like to do the classic cards and a fancy fold card. I hope that answers your question.
What was the question? I didn't understand.
For the All-In Card Club, is this the cards that are your new releases?
Yeah, these are not the actual new.
For the All-In.
For the All-In. These are different. I think they're saying, are they going to get these fancy fold in the club?
No, I don't think that's the question.
Okay. Good thing you're answering it.
Let us know if we answered your question. Okay, so wine colored cardstock.
Can we zoom in? Okay, I think you said 4 1/4 by 5 1/2.
Yes.
So it's already 5 1/2, so I'm going to go do the 4 1/4. See, your question, both of me and Jackie interpreted it different, so let us know. Okay, there's 4 1/4.
Okay. Fold pre-scored card with a fold on the bottom.
Okay,
Trim.
so we're now going to fold this card, and the fold is going to be on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to cut it while it's folded.
Trim 5 1/4 by 4.
So we're going to go 5 1/4. That is the landscape way. And then you want to make sure you have the opening way to do the 4. Okay. So now this card will fit as a mat in here. Okay?
Okay. Let's see. Fold into, oh sorry, trim the plaid paper. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. It's going to be a square.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Got it.
Are we going to fold it later?
Yes.
Trim plaid pattern paper 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 again.
Yes, because you will find out why we need it twice. Okay.
Trim the white cardstock 1 1/2 by 1. It must be for the sentiment.
Okay, so 1 1/2 by 1. Let's go ahead and do 1. And 1 1/2. Is that what you said?
Yep, 1 1/2 by 1.
Okay.
And the wine cardstock is 1 3/4 by 1 1/4.
Okay, so 1 1/4. I'm going to do that one first. I'm going to turn it and do 1 3/4. Okay.
Now we need our tree pattern paper.
Yes, and guess where that is? The back of the plaid paper.
So 5 1/4 by 2 3/4.
Okay, so I'm going to cut the 2 3/4 first, but I want to point out that we really want these trees, okay? Because when you look at the card, you want to see the trees on toward the bottom. So that I'm going to use the bottom row of trees to do my, what was it, 2 3/4?
2 3/4.
So I'm going to do 2 3/4 so I have all these trees right here. And it's going to be by 5
1/4.
Yep, 5 1/4. Got it.
Next we need our brown wood paper. 5 1/4 by 1 1/4.
Okay, so you can use either this side or this side, whichever side you want. I'm going to be using this side. So 5 1/4 by,
1 1/4.
because I'm just going to cut this 5 1/4 because it was 5 1/2, and then 1 1/4. Okay.
Those are all the pieces. Now we need to do some assembly. So I'm going to start back from the beginning of the instructions. Okay, so that plaid pattern paper, that's a square. It says to fold into a triangle.
Yes, so you're literally, since it's a square, you're going to go corner to corner for a triangle. Sorry, this is so annoying. And I'm talking about my thumb. Sorry, it's hard. Sheesh. I can't seem to. There we go. Well, we'll just call that good. Okay.
Okay, and then I think we do that again.
Yeah, but you're really going to do is you're going to fold it, but we're going to be trimming it. So if you don't want to fold it, we could just trim, which I think I will. Because what this is this is going to be the one that's going to kind of go like that. But when you open it, instead of seeing these trees like this, you just want to see the plaid. And you only need 1/2 of the triangle. So you could put these two together and do it that way, or you can trim it and then put the piece in there. So if we take our paper trimmer and you cut an angle, you should get the same thing as folding it in half and cutting it on the fold. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So now we're going to use this triangle, which is going to kind of go like that. All right? So where's our piece? Right here?
So actually the folded triangle needs to be attached to the pre-scored card with the fold on the bottom.
Correct. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this, open it up like a pocket, and we're going to put adhesive on the back, and then it's going to go on the back of the card like this. So we're going to put adhesive from the fold down. Okay. Then we're going to match it from edge to edge. You want to make sure it's going to close, so you don't want to be over the corner, you know, where it folds. And it's going to go like this. Okay, so now you have it like that on the back of the card, but that card is going to go on the other piece, so you're not going to see this part, okay? You don't see this part. But when you open it, this is where you don't want that tree, so we're going to put this on there. Now, if you had a pattern paper that had both sides that you liked, you probably don't have to do this part, but I will say it does give it a little bit more strength. So I kind of like that part too. And I don't want to be right on the fold, so I'm kind of looking at that because I want it to close well. I'm just kind of looking. Okay, I'm going to go like that.
Okay, so now is the point you decide if you want to round the triangle corner.
So if you've never used a corner rounder before, what you're going to do is you're going to put your paper in so that the corner here is going to go all the way in and it's against the sides. Oh God, my thumb again. And you punch. And look how it made it a nice rounded corner. See that?
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to adhere the card to our wine colored cardstock.
Okay, so here's our wine colored cardstock. We're going to now put our adhesive on the back.
Just a reminder of what it's going to look like.
And this is going to get matted. Like that. Okay. So now our card will open like this.
Okay, now we can start building the background.
Okay.
So trees and wood.
So let's put our trees on. Well, actually, let's put our wood on first. Can we do that? Okay. Okay, and then we'll put our trees on. Oops. Went off the table there. That's why I should have my silicone mask. Okay. Now you want to make sure that your paper doesn't go over the white card, so if it does, put it more on the brown paper. Okay, so now look at that cute background.
Cute. Okay. Do you know what's next? How about our sentiment?
Okay, so this sentiment is right here, and I did round each of the corners just so that you could see how a corner rounder works again. You don't have to do this, it could be square. So again, you're just going to put it in. Make sure that the sides are matching. It's really a great tool to have. And now we have that. And we'll do it again. Okay, So now this part's going to go in there. And then the word enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go to our small sticker sheet. And we're going to find that word enjoy right here. Okay, and then this is going to go right there on the flap. Okay.
All right, so next let's add some sticker embellishments like the stars and the lines on the road. And then we'll move on to this.
Okay, so if you can't see it, I was just being kind of cute. I just put the inside of some of these stars, the little stars, on top of the red trees. You don't have to do that, but I thought it was cute. And then I used some of these lines, which you won't really see until you pull some of the stickers, but I kind of use them for a shadow. So you could do that last, but let's go ahead and put the stars in. So again, I took the inside of these stars and I just went ahead and put them on the treetops. Again, a very fun, rustic looking card.
Each of our cards has had a different personality so far, so you have lots of variety.
And one more. If you really wanted to go to town, you could take these larger stars and put them on glitter paper or color them, whatever you want. I just did it that way. Now, what we need to do also is, you see this little part? This is on wood paper. So the little part that is the back of the truck is not on glitter paper. So let's find our wood paper. And you could put it on the darker wood. You could put it back on the lighter. Let's use the darker. And I have a little trick about this so you don't have to cut as much. But you do have to cut when it's like this, because the opening is right here. See that? So what I do is I put half of it down like this. So half of it is off. And then I'm going to cut this and then turn it around. So you could see this part of the sticker is not on anything. Do you see that? Okay, so I'm going to come in and I'm just going to cut that part out. Now the little stumpy parts, you kind of have to lift up or cut them off, however you want. Okay, so then you're just going to cut this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get this piece of paper off of there. Okay, then we're going to turn this around and we're going to put it on the other side. And that's an easier way, so you don't have to, you can figure out how to keep that center without any paper that you have to try to cut out. So then this part will be all ready when you're ready to put that on. If you do it a different way, will you let us know? This is always the way that I've done it. You have to make sure though that the sticker is down. Mine was moving. Okay. Oops. Okay. Oh dear, Jackie, I keep making there. There we go. Okay, we got it. So now we have this part all done. Should we zoom in a little bit so they could see a closer view? Okay, there we go. Now we need to do the glitter part, right?
Yep, so, oh, you didn't do the lines for the truck.
No, because there's 2 lines here, but there's also going to be a line here. So why don't we wait until we are finished pulling the sticker. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. So what do we need?
Need 3 presents and the truck. The truck will be all one piece except for the windows and the window.
Okay, so here's the truck, and it's gonna go right here by our berries. Okay, and then like she said, Jackie mentioned, you got to pull the window over. Now I am going to bring in the negative for these wheels. However, I'm going to color this a little black so when I put it in, you don't see any of the white glitter. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Well, actually, I'll put the inside ring in there. Okay. Now, what else do we need? The presents. Here they are. 1. Let's see. We'll put them up here. 1, 2, and 3. Is that all we need?
3 presents.
Let's see. Oh, darn. I'll have to put this present here. Okay. You would think that would fit. Let's just see. Nope, won't fit. Okay, I'm going to let you do the brayer. So before we color on our glitter paper, let's go back to the card. Now that we've peeled our stickers, we could kind of see these lines a little better. So we could take like this long one here, and we could put it as a shadow maybe down here. And we could take this smaller one right here, maybe put it as a shadow right above it, like the wheel could be the shadow. And then we could take this other one and kind of put it over near the presents. Okay, so now we have our shadowy lines. So those were basically the negatives of other elements. Okie dokie. So now we're on to coloring. So our truck is a blue truck. And in our family, we had old blue. Remember that? So we're going to use this darker blue called B4.7, and I'm going to use B4.3.
Oh, and just a reminder, if you're using a different brand of marker like Right Art, we do have some conversion charts on the website under resources. So if you want to compare colors.
Yeah, the Right Art has kind of gone away, I think.
I had a question about it in the comments.
Oh. Yeah, it's just best to kind of make your own type of conversion, I guess. So I'm kind of putting that dark blue. Now I'm going to go to 4.3 and just kind of pull it over. And this is a truck that reminds me of kind of one that we had. Now when you color, I don't know if Jackie mentioned, but you don't need to stay in the lines. You could go over our sticker lines because it won't alter the sticker color. So I'm putting that dark blue again. And then I'm going to go to the 4.3 light blue. And I like it kind of splotchy. To me, that looks like an ancient, old car.
Vintage.
Vintage, yes. Okay. All right, so we kind of have that. Maybe I want just a little bit more dark here. There we go. All right, so there's that. And now we need to do the tires. We need to do this part and that part.
The tire is a sticker.
Yes, but we're going to color black so you don't see it.
Oh.
So let's just do that first. So I just want to make this kind of, I don't want anyone to see the seam of the sticker. So I'm just kind of putting that black. You don't want to do that part, you don't have to. I just have noticed sometimes you see the white glitter and I just like it like this. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a moment. So let's go ahead and do our window. And just like we were doing the snow globe and things, put a little of this B 2.2. So it's this one again. And then we're going to get our colorless blender. And just kind of blend that in. So the window has a little bit of a tint. Okay. And now I'm going to use warm gray for those two areas. So this is warm gray 7. And in our current favorites, we don't have all the warm grays, but we'll be carrying those and the new cool grays next year. Olo is repackaging those into sets. Okay, so now if we go back to these tires and we take the negative, which to me looks more like a vinyl, and you kind of just match it up. And then I went and I took our large dot and I put that right here. Kind of made it like a rim. And that's how we did the truck. So you're going to trim this out and then you're going to attach this part just to the bottom. So I would just get some really nice strong tape and kind of put that just on the bottom like that once you've trimmed this out. Now we're going to do the presents. So we're going to go back to our standard YG 8.7, YG 2.5. Oh, I have a little part in here that...
And all of them.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Maybe you can use your weed tool.
Weeding. I could. But for now, I'm going to use this.
It's actually called a vinyl weeding tool online.
Okay. There we go. So now, if we come in, we can add a little of this dark green. It looks like two of our presents are going to be a darker green. Okay, there's that one. Here's this one. Now it looks like one of the bows is blue, so we'll make a blue bow down here. And one of the bows is red, so let's go with this 1.5. Okay, now this one is red, so I'm gonna do a different red than the berry. Okay, and with the red we had a green bow. I'm just going to use the YG 2.5. There we go. Look how cute those presents are. So we have our 3 presents in our truck. So the main thing that you have to now figure out is when you do this card, you have to make sure that this is using a pop dot dimensional. And you need to not put it where this is going to tuck in. So when you put your dimensionals, you don't want any on the top of this, and you want your dimensionals to be down here, across and down. So nothing on the top here where that little thing is going to tuck in. So your 3 presents go here, your truck with dimensionals, and then your card. Isn't that cute?
It's a really cute card. Now we have one more to go. Can you believe it? Is everybody hanging in there?
Yeah, are you hanging in there, everybody?
So our next card features a cute little penguin. We'll show it to you right here. See if I can grab it. There we go. And how does this one work? So it opens like this.
Right.
And I believe this
Slides off. And it could be a bookmark gift.
is a bookmark. How cute. We're also going to be using a brand new sticker. So get ready for that. I hope you're excited. Let's make our 7th project together. You should only have 1 kit left in your box.
So we need that, our brand new nested circle, which by the way will be offered in many different colors, not just black, and I think that's coming your way on New Sticker Day later this coming week, this next week. Is that right?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday. So we'll have nested circles, nested squares in, are you ready for this? Black, white, copper, silver. So that's really fun, and gold.
Now,
So
why would you want a nested circle?
we will be finding out. Well, why would we? Do you know?
I thought it was so that it was easy to cut out the glitter, the images on the glitter paper, but
It is.
I don't see it used like that here.
No, it is, and we are.
Oh, okay.
But, so, for those of you, well, that's true. It's not like that here. For those of you who don't like fussy cutting, we came up with the nested circles so you can have a nice circle, put your image inside, and not have to fussy cut the images. But we're doing it a little bit different. We're kind of doing it to replace a die cut today, but that is, you were correct.
Okay.
That is what it was for. Okay, so we need our pattern paper kit. We need our nested circle. We need our border. We need the penguin, and I believe we need the words. So the words right here, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I don't see any dots. Do you see any dots?
No.
Okay, so that's what we need.
Okay, paper trimmer. We're going to trim our red cardstock 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then just to make sure, why did we get such a big piece?
Because we have a couple things to do.
Okay.
So 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 4 1/4. Got it.
Trim the chevron pattern paper 4 by 5 1/4.
Okay, so I believe we need to cut off 1/4 of an inch and 5 1/4, so another 1/4 of an inch.
Trim red cardstock 3 1/2 by 4 1/4.
Okay, so this is 4 1/4, and we're going to go to 3 1/2.
Next, we need to fold our pre-scored card and trim it.
Okay, so we don't need the envelope. And here is our pre-scored card. So let's fold it. So this is kind of fun that we're showing you 2 different things you could do from a pre-scored card. Okay.
3 1/4 by 4 are the dimensions.
So I want to make sure you understand that it's opening this way. So the 4, I believe, is this way. Let's make sure. It is. So we want it to be 4 high. So we want to turn it this way and go to 4. Okay. Then we want to turn it this way and go to
3 1/4.
3 1/4. So your pre-scored card now is tiny like this.
Okay, trim your red patterned paper 3 1/4 by 1. And then we're going to trim it again, another piece, 5 by 5.
Okay, so 5 by 5.
That's all the trimming.
Okay, very good. So, did you keep up with all the trimming? You should still have a white piece of paper and a red piece of paper that we will be using. Okay, so keep those handy.
Okay, so we're going to start adhering with the red and the chevron.
Okay, so you could use either side. If you like this side better, you could use this side of the paper. We're going to go with our sample.
And by the way, I see 3 comments at least that say this is my favorite.
Do you like the colors or the card?
Okay, next. How about we glue these 2 together and then it will go on here.
Okay. So the back of the pre-scored card. I thought the truck was kind of nice too. Okay. All right. Then this is going to go in here.
Yep, it looks centered, maybe a little.
Should we put our sentiment first? So
Okay.
then we know where to put that. So let's go over here and look for that Curse of Winter, which is right here. So let's go ahead and get that. That way we'll know where we want to put that. So if we peel that and we kind of put it on the bottom here. I need that weeding tool again.
It's right there.
Okay, there we go. Then we kind of know where we want this to go, which I think is nice. So we're going to put our adhesive on the back of the red paper. So remember, we want to open our card. Okay.
This piece goes on the bottom of that white card.
And then it looks like we have a border there.
Yeah, it looks like a chain.
Okay, so we'll come over here. I have some extra little chains from prior projects, so I'll use one of those. I'll just put it across here. Okay.
And now we're on to the bookmark part.
All right.
So this part seems a little more advanced, but we'll get through it. We'll just go slow.
All right.
So we have our 5x5 square.
Uh-huh.
And so what it says is fold in half each way.
So it doesn't really matter at this point which way you want to fold, but we're going to fold it in half. If you want to use your scoring board, you can. So I'm going to fold it this way, and I'm going to fold it this way. Okay.
Now it says to trim the lower square out.
Okay, so now you have, it's hard to see here, but if you look closely, you have 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to trim this one right here out on the score.
Lower right.
Yes. So however you could see it, it doesn't matter which side you do it from, you got to do it on the scored line. Okay, so it should look like that.
Okay. Fold the left top square into a triangle.
Yes, so this is where you kind of have to think, how do I want it to look? So if I were to fold it this way, it might show that paper. So I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to fold this into a triangle. Do you see what I'm saying? I want this red paper to show.
So the piece across from the one you cut out.
Yes.
Okay. And fold remaining pieces behind the triangle.
So it's going to go like this. So this becomes your pocket.
Can you do that again?
Of course. Okay, so take this top one, fold it. Take this bottom one, fold it up, and then this part becomes the pocket for the bookmark. Do you see that? So now we need to adhere these pieces. The thing is, you want to be careful where you put the tape. So if you go like that, you only want the tape there. Right? There's that. That. And then you also want to tape this down. Okay, so if we were to take this part off, you could see that here's all the red part of the papers, right? You see that? And then on the back you have the bubbles. So on the back we have the bubbles. Okay? And then this is going to go in just like that.
All right, we did it. So now let's use some of those nested circles.
Okay, should we put this part on here just for now?
Yeah, don't lose it.
Oh, did I blow it? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay, so we need our red and white papers and we need our nested circles.
So we're going to use the same circle for both. So there's one here and there's one here. Okay. So I believe the one that we want is the second one. Should we measure it? This is...
Second nested circle.
Okay. Oh, it is. Okay, good. I was right. Where's my tweezers? So we're going to go in. Oh, come on. We're going to pull this and we're going to put it down. Okay. Then we're going to take our white paper and we're going to do the one so it's matching on the bottom. Now if you just kind of let it relax, you know, just kind of let it go, it'll go really well. Now this is off a little bit, so I could pick it up and move it over. Okay. Now I believe we're going to trim these, correct?
Yes.
So this one, make sure it's down. This one we're going to trim following the outside of the sticker. So this is where if you have glitter paper and you don't want a fussy cut, you could have images in the center, or maybe you want a sentiment or something. We thought we would offer you nested circles.
Check the website back on Tuesday. We'll have different colors available.
Yeah, we do.
And we didn't announce that to anyone but you.
That's right. And we have a brand new sticker color called copper. But look how nice that came out. Okay, so you don't need a die cut machine. You could just follow that. Now another idea, and I wanted to show you both ways, is if you didn't want this wide of a circle, you could go and cut right outside the stitched lines. So that will give you a skinnier circle. And that was Michelle's idea. And I thought it was a good one, so I'm sharing it. Now if you have a die cut and you prefer to cut it with a die cut, these are standard size circles. You should be able to use your brand to cut it. Okay, so now we have this circle.
All right, so now let's adhere those, well, the red one at least, to the card.
Okay. And I think there's a sentiment in there, isn't there?
Hello.
So that is on right here. Hello, winter. And if you want to put snowflakes and stuff in there, you can. Okay.
Now, should we adhere our white circle to the bookmark?
Okay.
Is it flat?
Yes.
No, it's popped.
Oh, it's popped. Okay, so pop dot your circle right here. I'm going to do mine. You want to put tape, you know, where the circle, you don't want it on the whole circle because that has to slide in. So I just put it on the top little part here, and I don't know, am I leaving matting? Maybe a little, like that. Okay, so now my circle should go in. What did I do? That's why I think I did pop dots. Oh, I have some tape in there. Okay, now it'll work. Okay, so that's how that looks.
Cute. Snowflakes.
Okay, so we'll put a few snowflakes on here. And here. And maybe another one. Okay, so now we need our penguin, right?
Our last piece is the penguin. We're going to color him, dress him up. So we need glitter paper.
Where'd I put the penguin sticker? We're missing pieces. Oh, here he is. Okay, so there are two different penguins on here. You could have the one whose arms are going up like this, or you could have the one with the arms down. I like the one like hello, where you're kind of shouting it hooray. So that's what I'm going to do. So you need this penguin. This was one of our first sticker sets, and it's still my favorite by far. I love this guy. Okay. And then we want the hat. So we're going to have a little hat. And we want the scarf. We'll put the scarf by the hat. Okay.
Burnish.
Okay, so the penguin is basically black here, so you definitely want to make sure that these lines here are down really, really tight. So you don't want your black to go into the white. So I did not blend. You can if you want, but I just did the penguin straight black. If you wanted to blend, I would do the WG 9 and 3. Very dark, warm gray. Okay. And then the head. And again, I'm being very cautious when I get to that one part, because it's really hard to erase black. Okay, there. Now we have his little beak and feet. So I used O 2.5 and 2.4. So I found 2.4. Where's 2.5? Here it is. Okay, so it's these two colors right here. So a dark light. Okay, maybe just do his little beak. Okay, and we'll put this little part here. This is the 2.4 and the beak. Okay, then for his little mouth, I just did a pink, which I did R 5.3. So it's this one right here, R 5.3. Okay, and now the penguin guy is pretty well done. So we have to do the hat and the scarf. So for that, we need some sort of blue-green. And I'm trying to find, I think I did this one right here. Get that. Okay, so I wanted something bright. So I went with BG 2.3 and 2.4. Okay, so go ahead.
To match the paper.
Yes, to match the paper. So I put a little bit there. I'm going to do both at the same time. Put that in there. And then let's go to the 2.3. Okay. Isn't that cute? And now we just have to add the red. to the hat. And again, I went with that 1.5, and I didn't really blend or shade. So I wanted it to be very dark. So you could do the shading if you so choose. I might have done a little on the pom-pom, but I'm not gonna today. But look how cute those colors are together. Isn't that pretty? Then when you trim this out, the pieces go right on him, and then he goes on to wherever we put the bookmark piece, which was, I guess, right here. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, so let's look at that finished card again. And let's look at all of our cards so we can see what we've accomplished today. We've gotten 7 cards done together. Can you believe it? So she's grabbing those so we can just take a look. We would love to know which one was your favorite to make.
We had the truck, the snow globe gift card. We started out with the presents. We did this beautiful pine cone. Oh, this is the one we made. Where's the other one?
Back there.
Oh, here's this one. You want to put that there? And we did the pocket. So I think we did quite a bit. And they're all so cute. You have so many pieces left over. You can make more. And then
well, these are called the winter gift editions because they are specifically tailored for you to give to somebody during this holiday season. So including, this had that little bookmark as a present, but also you can include a gift certificate in them. And it's just great for this time of year.
Yes, it really is. And I just really wanted to, again, just show you the swatch book just so that you could see. Again, this is brand new. It goes by the letter and numbers of the Olo favorites only that Crazy Creation has. We put extra spots, so if we grow or you have your favorites that you own that are not part of ours, you could put them in here. Cardstock, glitter, warm and cool highlight. And in the back, we left plenty of room because I told you we're going to be carrying the cool gray, warm gray, but we also have your favorite markers. Like I'm going to put in here my skin tones, what I like to use, the markers, and what they look like on the glitter paper. So this is fun. You have 3 pages where you can keep track of your favorite blends.
All right, so that sums up today's video. I want to give one more announcement. Make sure that you purchase the Krazy Krafter Box All Occasion. That one's going to be live in the beginning of January. So we're following last year's schedule. And that one is going to be another fantastic box. And if you order today, you get 3 pre-order gifts.
Yeah, so what are they?
You get the vinyl weeding tool that looks like a glitter pen. You get a pair of fine pointed tweezers and a sand eraser. Great tools to have in your crafting stash.
Really good tools. So we wish you a very happy holiday season. Don't forget, we have Black Friday going on at Krazy Creations all the way through Tuesday. So today every day is a special day, except we have a 2-day for card kits, right?
Yes, Sunday, Monday. Make sure that you check in with us and see what's new on the website.
And I have to say, I think we have 8 or 9 new card kits. So brand new.
Yeah, so check those out. We hope you had fun with us. Let us know in the comments if you did. You can always heart it, like our video, and we'll see you next time. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Kara. Happy crafting.